I don't
Okay.
feel like I mean I see terrible takes about women and trans people and with like current political discourse. It's been getting worse in some aspects, but overall, like I think the community as a whole has always been better and better about condemning bad actors in the community and making feel like, wow, I didn't make a mistake being here and spending my
Mm.
time here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tuesday show. We have all gloriously returned from Combo Breaker 2022. And in what state, we'll find out in a couple more days. But I am James Chen, and I am joined alongside by Mr. UltraDavid and TuboWare. How's everybody going out there?
Hey everybody, I'm very happy to be back on the show. I feel like it's been like a while since we've like consistently done shows. So hey, sweet. I'm excited. What about you, Tupperware?
I can tell you, James, exactly what state I'm in right now. And it's the same state I was in for my entire stay at Combo Breaker. And that's elated. I'm just, I'm just on, cloud nine. Couldn't be any higher.
Yeah, there are clouds around, maybe one might say.
Oh, my head is in the clouds, bud.
State of nothingness, basically.
Bud.
Yeah.
Bud, indeed. We're going to be talking about, as you can see on the right, the first topic is Combo Breaker. We'll talk all about Combo Breaker, of course. We'll talk about the World Tour announcements that have been announced. We'll talk about some other stuff about Guilty Gear Strive, etc. Of course, we got an interview, as you can see, with Yuki. That's going to be cool. We're looking forward to that. We'll be talking about things like Exo Academy and so forth. We have a couple other things to get to. Of course, the 5-5 matchups in the mailbag where you send us stuff. But let's start by talking about Combo Breaker 2022.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, lot of stuff to say about this, but I mean, what are your thoughts on an experience of the event? There we go.
Yeah, before we get into anything like results or whatever, let's talk all about the event and our experiences there. So Combo Breaker hasn't happened in a few years. Why? Weird. It's been so long,
Yeah,
but
it's weird,
after
yeah.
3 years,
Sure.
it happened again. Yeah, funky time, unknown.
Weird.
Finally, it's back for some reason, and it was
Time
great.
paradox.
I mean, here's my feeling about it was very positive by the end of it. My favorite thing about it was just seeing people. That was the biggest reason that I went, honestly, as I told you guys even before the event. The biggest reason that I went was not really for commentary, not really for playing. I was excited to do those two things, but the biggest reason by far was just to see people who I hadn't seen in 2.5 to 3 years in almost every case. I've seen a few people. I mean, I went to Frosty's. I saw some of y'all out there, but for the most part, and Showdown as well, for the most part, a lot of people I had not seen. And so just catching up was the biggest thing. And, to be honest, a couple days before the event, I wasn't feeling very good. It turned out I was just exhausted, not sick. But while I wasn't feeling very good, I thought to myself, like, if it turns out that I'm sick and I can't go, maybe that's not that bad. Like I was kind of feeling like I didn't really want to go. I wasn't like excited to be there. In part because like I knew that my hand control was bad and that like playing wasn't going to go well, so I was like preemptively annoyed about that.
The world was falling apart too. I mean,
it was a bad week of news.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Absolutely, it was a bad week of news. So I just wasn't feeling like very, very positively about it. And then once I actually got there and I saw people, that was the bulk of what I did, and I was just like stoked to do it the whole time. Was walking up to people or having other people walk up to me and saying, "Hey, like let's catch up. How have things been for 3 years?" It's like a really long time. And for some people, the answer was, not too much. Not too much is new. Things are good. Like I've been fine. No big changes on my end. Everything's basically cool. And then other people were like, my life is in a completely different direction.
Dude, okay. Me and David were walking to lunch.
180 in some cases.
We were walking to lunch, ran into somebody and they were like, "Hey, how's it going?" Talking the whole time. And I'm like, who is this? Like, who is this? Oh, whatever. And David's talking. We walked away, and I'll totally admit this. Like, it was Mr. Aquaman, but he had the mask over his face, so I couldn't see the mustache, right? And two, he's like a fourth of what he was before, like size wise, and like I just couldn't even associate the two people together. You know what I mean? Like what I was seeing physically and what my mental memory was, like I couldn't combine the two together. So if Mr. Aquaman ever sees this or hears this, apologies, but that's just a sign of how well you've done.
Absolutely, yeah. And honestly, when he first stopped us as we were walking, and the first like maybe 10 words he said, I didn't know who it was either. And then after he talked a little bit and I could kind of hear his voice,
right, yeah,
and how he talked, I was like, oh, okay, I know who this is. But yeah, I knew that he had lost weight. I've commentated with him on the internet.
Bro, we had him on the show in his.
Yeah,
we had him exactly. Yeah, like I've seen what he looks like. It's just seeing him in person is a different story. And it was the same way with many other people too. Quite a few people I saw in the gym, as I mentioned. A lot of people were working out, which was great to see. Shout outs to Ron Masama, who apparently is keeping up with Mean Saltine and lifting nowadays. Like let's go. That's so sick. Stuff like that was just like really great. And then, look, like honestly, like not all the news was great that I was catching up with friends about. Like there was definitely some negative stuff too, but that was also important to talk about. And I'm glad that we did. So that was the best part of it for me for sure. And I never felt, as I often do at events, I often feel like I have kind of like a max of how much social interaction I can get. And then I have to go back to the room and like recharge for a while. I like being out there, but there's like a max for me.
Right,
I'm like kind
of
of
course,
in the middle between extrovert and introvert, I guess. But the whole weekend I was just talking to everybody, talking. Way more than usual. And that was awesome.
It was interesting because for the first day at Combo Breaker, I didn't have any commentary at all. So like literally Friday, I was just free. And yeah, I mean, at lunch, we ended up talking to a bunch of people because everybody was in that restaurant at the same time. I ended up hanging out with Mean Saltine for like a good like 30, 40 minutes. And we were just chatting and stuff. And yeah, I was seeing a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while. And it was really cool. At first I was really sad because obviously, on Friday, like, I just didn't have any commentary. And I was like, this kind of sucks. Like, I want to do commentary. But in the end, I felt like it kind of worked out because it gave me that day just to kind of hang out and chat with everybody and stuff. So that was actually really kind of nice, to be honest.
Well, Combo Breaker was all right. It was cool. Stuff happened. There's video games. We went there. I just want to say, actually, David, I'm really glad you went. Because, we have been talking in our Discords and chatting it up. And you're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to go, sick, blah, blah, blah. And I was already feeling sick.
Yeah, you were not planning to go at some point.
I was quite literally a morning of decision.
Yeah.
Right.
I probably still should have gone.
We didn't do the show last week because you were feeling really bad and I was feeling really sick. Again,
just to be clear to the chat, by the way, not with COVID, with my gastric issues.
Yeah.
Before people go, he thought he had COVID and he still went. So I have been having real bad stuff going on all week.
Right.
And up until I threw up the morning of going to Combo Breaker.
Jeez.
Before we took off. And if David would have said he wasn't going, I would have said, fuck it, I'm not going. I'm not gonna go. Like I already am like forcing myself to go. If David wasn't gonna be there, that was just it. I just wasn't gonna do it. It was a sign. So I'm glad you went. I'm really glad you went. Because I had a great time.
Yeah,
I ended up having a great time. Friday, doing auctions with bad stomach was rough. I'm very grateful that me and Saltine and Humbag were there holding it down for me after the auction was over, because after the first two I did, I threw up immediately after.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, it was rough. I promise nobody knows it, but Friday was my Jordan flu game. I promise it was. I gave everything I had on Friday. That was it.
Dang, that's crazy.
And I did commentate on Friday as well too. So holding it down. Yeah, no, I was holding it down there. They were holding down the stage and running the bracket for me and stuff after the auction was over. But yeah, I actually got to chop it up with almost everybody I wanted to, which is dope because I normally don't get to do that at Combo Breaker.
Right,
But I made it a point to this time. What was that, James?
No, I was just about to say it's interesting because I was hanging out with Oric a lot this last weekend, and we were talking about it too. And obviously Combo Breaker new venue, RIP Pheasant Run, that kind of sucks, but it felt definitely more mini Evo-ish in a way, and also in that same way that I just literally never ran into a bunch of people. Like I know Pat the Flip and Irene were running Exerd tournaments all day, like out in the lobby areas, and I definitely wanted to see them. I never saw them the entire time, so it's really, really hard to find the people that I want to talk to. So there was a lot of people I did end up missing. And in that way, I was sad because that's like one aspect of Evo that I don't like, is that I don't get to see anyone. Like a long time ago, the older Evos, it's like you saw everybody because it was not even that big, right? But it's a different kind of situation now. And it definitely felt a little that way. But at the same time, though, I did see a lot of people, and there's only 3 days, so you can only do what you can. And to be fair, I did meet the person that I really, really wanted to meet the most this weekend, and that is Big Willie. I got to meet Big Willie, and Big Willie, as I said on my tweet, I'm happy to report that he is just as cool in person as he is on stream. So.
Sometimes you can meet your heroes.
He's
it's true.
Sometimes they don't let you down.
God, he's adorable.
I think what Aru says in the chat is correct. I think that it did feel a little bit less intimate than Pheasant Run.
Look, nothing is ever gonna feel like Combo Breaker 2019 ever again.
Right.
Combo Breaker 2019 was an entire resort, literally filled every hotel room, every attendee with fighting game players.
Yeah.
Every hallway had cabinets. The pool area had setups.
And
you will never have that again.
And walking past ice cream shops, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy an ice cream, dude. Oh God.
It wasn't that great a venue, guys. Like it
was a shitty venue.
Yeah.
But it was ours. It was our venue.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there was a kind of homey feeling there. And although this is like an objectively better venue, the hotel was sick. Absolutely. It was so great, actually. And the convention center was huge. And it, honestly, way better venue. But the fact of it being a better, larger venue also kind of made it feel a little bit less intimate. What can honestly, you do about that? I thought the venue was so much better. And
the Pheasant
like I said,
Run,
like it was really fun seeing people. I didn't get to see everybody I wanted to see either, but I did pretty good.
The Pheasant Run really is a good preview of the FGC future old man home, where we're all going to be able just to take over one giant old man, retirement home and sit there and play fighting games all day.
Not even joking about that. I hope we do that. So as far as how Combo Breaker operated, yes, it did require masks. Yes, they were in fact enforcing that.
Even on commentary too. Yeah.
Correct. And even apart from being asked and like forcing people, almost everybody was just wearing the masks anyway, to be honest. I did see a couple of instances of people having to, tell somebody else to put a mask on. I personally didn't see that many of those. So it seemed to me like people were in fact taking it seriously the whole time. There was a vaccination requirement as well. So, it was a huge event. Some people have already said that they have found out as they've gotten home that they have COVID. Probably not avoidable.
One of them felt sick on Friday, and they actually did not go back to the venue on Saturday or Sunday at all.
Well, that's very good.
So honestly,
that's very good to hear. Yeah, being at CB was certainly safer than being in the airport on the way there, than being in the airplane on the way there. I can tell you that much. So I really appreciated what they did with all of that. Again, it's just not plausible to expect that everybody will be feeling good afterward, feeling safe afterward. I hope everybody who does get sick, first of all, that there are few, and that the few who get it, that it's not serious.
Right. But the matches themselves, were kind of ridiculous, actually. Like, I already. Are you okay there, Dave?
I have been testing negative for COVID for like almost 3 weeks now, 2.5 weeks now, and I still have this annoying wheezy cough that comes by every now and then. So
I mean,
bummer.
man, but the matches were excellent, and I will have to say that Umisho Tempest double KO might have been the greatest double KO I've ever seen in fighting game history.
What was going on? Can you set the stage, people who didn't see it?
Basically, Umisho had this big lead, and everybody knows how easily Happy Chaos can chip you to death because he can just shoot you anywhere on the screen. Tempest was using Leo, and he started making the comeback little by little and finding the hits here. Umisho even got a gold burst, got all of his meter, pumped the, concentration filling, super so he could just shoot all day. And then finally, at one point in time, to get in, Tempest fired the Sonic Boom, Leo's Sonic Boom, and it went at Umisho, and Umisho had his gun out, and you just hit Heavy Punch, and you shoot the enemy anywhere on the screen, and he hit it, and it shot Leo, and Leo's fireball.
He also had the clone out in front of him, so he thought he was safe. Yeah, the clone out in front of him, and Leo's fireball is more than one hit, so it went through.
That's right. That was Razzo. That was Razzo's match. My bad. Yeah, and the fireball hit Happy Chaos on the exact frame that Happy Chaos hit Heavy Punch and fired the gun at Leo. And it was a double KO, and it was the craziest thing, dude. Like, I almost jumped out of my chair when that happened.
I think we did. I think we literally did.
I think we were in the back.
At the time.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was so good.
As for me, the thing that stood out the most to me among all the games that I commentated and watched was definitely in Mortal Kombat, where these two Chilean twins have just like made it clear that they're the best players in the world. These two guys from Chile, again, twins. What I've heard is that they're not even from a major city, that they're like from a small town. And I just like need to know the story of how they got to be the best players in the world. That's amazing.
Played with each other a lot.
Right. No. Well, I mean, probably playing online too. And there's definitely a strong scene out there. It's just, geez, that is amazing. So they both got 1 and 2 at CEO. Then they both got 1 and 2 at Combo Breaker as well. And although this wasn't the biggest Mortal Kombat tournament of all time, it was one of the densest in terms of player skill. Like, there was no fluff. Everybody who entered that thing knew how to play Mortal Kombat. And each pool had really good players who could like credibly make top 8. And it was, nevertheless, like they got all the way through. They got to winners finals together. It wasn't even like one had to like squeak in on loser's side. Like it was, dude, that is amazing. Honestly, congrats to those guys.
Latin America,
Scorpion Prox and Nicholas.
What was the names?
Scorpion Prox and Nicholas. Okay. Yeah, Sonic Fox did DQ. I'm gonna tell you, I don't think that mattered. I think they were getting to winners finals, and I think that they were getting to grands. Yeah. I don't think Fox was stopping them.
Fox was concentrating on Skullgirls and didn't even end up winning that one, right? Got second place.
Yeah.
Japan won Skullgirls, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then I thought Soul Calibur was really cool. Zefkai and Incendiate have been winning everything. Zefkai wasn't there. Boom, obviously a very strong player, but he got to grand finals on winner's side. Incendiate got sent to losers earlier on, made it back to grand finals, destroyed Boom in the first set, and then Boom clutched it out and was able to take it, which was really, really cool. Mexico taking King of Fighters, and nobody's surprised about that. Like I said, Latin America showing up, right? Chile and Mexico, and nobody is surprised about Mexico, I think, taking King of Fighters at all. So
Arslan got third. Pakistan got third. That's pretty cool. Makes me want to see more of the Pakistani scene, which I've always heard many good things about. He did, yeah.
He beat Reynolds.
Yeah. But yeah, top 2 were both Mexico. That was pretty sick. I really enjoyed watching that. In Street Fighter, very interesting like regional results. So IDOM took it, right? You got Northeast up there. And then second and third were both Caribbean, so Kaba and Mono. And then fourth and fifth were West Coast. Then the other fifth, that is to say, Chris CCH and Filipino Man. Then the other fifth was Shine, so Northeast. Then seventh was Up to Snuff, so Midwest. And then the other seventh was NRD, so that is Caribbean again. So the Caribbean actually showed up the biggest. You know, we've had all this in terms of like the NA scene, right? That a lot of common grouping is to put them in with NA. Maybe the strongest NA scene is the Caribbean. I don't think anybody would be surprised about that, right? That doesn't seem like a big surprise to me, but that is, you know, maybe it's Northeast still. I don't know. I think the way that it turned out was really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there was also, you know, a couple of crazy exhibitions. There was the US versus EU Tekken event. And then, of course, there was the Midwest versus West Coast, which I'm sure Tubo is excited to talk about, as you can tell from his, you know, ready to pop off lean over here. So, yeah.
He's about to spring into action.
Yeah.
The way that
told y'all.
So Ringe and I were on the same flight home, and he described this as being that in all the exhibitions, the good guys won, like the home team won, which was, I thought, pretty cool way to put it. Like NA beat people from elsewhere, Midwest beat people from elsewhere. That's awesome. Like even though the region that I'm from wasn't, you know, we didn't beat Midwest, I still think that's really sick. Like all I was hoping for, it was a close match, and so congrats.
That's not true, really, David. You didn't care about it at all.
I just wanted a close match. I mean, I love watching those guys play, so like that. That's awesome
for sure.
I just don't really care about the regionality of it.
It was just really interesting to me because, man, if they didn't do the 2 life thing, can you imagine how different the narrative would have been at that point? You know. And it's so weird. It kind of just shows you how things can change so much just based off of the rules that are set, you know. And I thought it was a really good match. And again, you know, I mean, I do honestly, and no disrespect to Rob. I think he's definitely taking it very, very seriously and to heart. And, you know, I think it's just kind of like a fun exhibition. But, you know, it definitely meant a lot to him. So I'm really happy for him that he got that and has been able to, you know, really, really show off his Midwest pride, honestly. So,
well, I told y'all.
Totally. Yeah, congrats to him. I think that's awesome.
Easy dubs.
Where were you in top 8? Where were you in top 8, huh, Tubo?
Easy work. Like easy work. We came. We saw. We conquered.
Right.
We don't need to win the tournament too. Did what we wanted to do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I already got those on my computer, bub.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. But I love this. I love this. Look at all those. They're so cool. They're so cool. Okay, but that's not all. I've been showing off this mug. Sweet. Okay, but that's not all. Check out this kitty cat RoboCop.
RoboCat.
Check that out.
RoboCat.
Wow. That is pretty great.
Shout outs to Irene, aka Wave Chan. So you know, always doing all the amazing cat fighting game cat immunities, I guess.
That one's pretty cool. Ooh.
Anyways, I got to commentate KI top 8 and Marvel top 8 because I want to talk about some stuff too, you jerks.
Dude,
taking up all the damn time.
Dude, what happened in Marvel top 8? I saw so many people talking about how insane it was. What happened?
Chris got away with one. Chris
for
G'd
sure.
it. Chris G'd it so hard. I've never seen a more Chris G thing happen in my life. So, Chris got put into losers. He came from loser side. By the way, Chris wins the tournament. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
I called it. Chris came from losers. I said we're going to see a classic. We're going to see a Chris G loser side, winner side, grand final win. So he was down 2-0.
Who's he playing?
To Dead X Pride. He was playing against Dead X Pride.
Okay.
Dead X Pride plays Team Clockwork. He plays Virgil Doom Strider.
Okay.
So a very good team against Morgan. Some would call it a counter pick. It's not, but it's a strong team to play against Moradum. So Chris is down 2-0, makes a 3-2 comeback. And then he goes up 2-0, loses the next 2. So it's 2-2, final game. Chris is down to Virgil. He gets Virgil in. Virgil lands. Doesn't get 3 kills. He kills a character and a half, basically. So Chris is getting chipped down. Has no life left. Has no meter left. And Dead X Pride has Doom Strider. And he's shooting, I believe it's Doom Strider. He's shooting beams, doing all the things. Chris, out of desperation, tries to dash up and back throw with Virgil and gets stand H. It confirms the stand H into S into H into S and kills the assist character. Gets away with it from the situation again. He's full screen, should get chipped out. Jumps through, somehow dodges every projectile possible. Catches Dead X Pride jumping back in the corner, and confirms for the win. And
Jesus.
I was losing.
You did
my
a
shit.
great job on commentary, man. I got to tell you, I really, really liked it. I went back and watched the whole thing this morning.
I mean, I appreciate that.
Well,
You're
you're very
supposed to say
welcome.
that. You're my friend. I don't know if I can trust you, bub. You might be juicing me up here.
You did a good job. And then you had an announcement that I would like you to talk about.
Yeah, I have retired from all things FGC that aren't anything but just playing the video games. So I'm never commentating anything ever again. Not for funsies. Not for. I'm done. I'm never no commentary. When we do another what
Commentary
is
cup?
the commentary cup.
Yeah,
We do another commentator cup. I'm not commentating it. I will gather the people for you guys, and that's it. That's my limit. I'm done doing anything behind the scenes. No more auction tournaments. Nothing. I'm just a competitor again.
No.
If I even go, which I probably will. Let's be real. Like if there's a fighting game I like, I also want to compete.
I mean, you'll hang at least.
I mean, can I ask what the reason is or anything like that? So
yeah, I'll for the most part openly talk about stuff. I won't name names and I won't get too in depth because a lot of these people are still my friends and stuff. But I don't. First and foremost, I don't want to compete against my friends anymore. And I consider most commentators friends of mine, at least acquaintances, and it doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't. I wasn't here first, and I'm not going to be here last. And I don't like fighting with you guys for jobs, especially for jobs that really don't pay me anything. Most events of my life I've gone to for commentary, I've lost money on.
mm-hmm.
Like it's nothing that I've ever had made profit from. And so what goes along with that is a lot of schmoozing and a lot of politics that I don't have fun doing. I've never had fun doing that stuff. And it's probably cost me some gigs because I don't want to do some of that stuff. And I don't want to do it anymore because, again, I'm not getting paid enough to. I'm too old for this shit, essentially, right? Like, it's not my full-time job. It was something I did for fun, and I'm kind of just over it. However, I'm just quitting fighting game stuff. I think I've had my run in fighting games. I did everything I wanted to do in fighting games. Yeah, I did everything I wanted to do in fighting game commentary. I accomplished everything I wanted to do. So I don't have any regrets. I don't have any regrets like doing it, like, in terms of my commentary career. So I think my time has come. Like the games that I really love that I can commentate, they're fading away too. They're getting older, and some of the players I know don't play anymore, and there's a lot of new faces, and it's different, man. It's different. My time is come and gone. You can't stay in the league forever. Eventually, you gotta hang it up. So that's just kind of where I am. But and also just to be clear, I'm not quitting esports commentary and esports stuff. I'm going all in on Rumbleverse. I'm all in on Rumbleverse. You guys are gonna see me all the fuck over Rumbleverse. However big that game gets is how big I'm planning to get. So just be fucking ready for it.
But I mean, you're still gonna play.
Where I am.
You're gonna play in tournaments still for fighting games, right? Like,
yeah. If there's a game that I like enough to put the time in and compete, absolutely. I was hoping it would be Strive, but I hate the lobby system that much. I hate the lobby system so damn much that it makes me not want to play the game. So yeah, if there's a game out there, if Street Fighter 6 comes out and I love Street Fighter 6, I'll be at the next major. Like I will absolutely be there. It's just I don't want to commentate anymore. I don't want to do all the extras.
I definitely respect you like feeling like it's time and then making the decision on your own terms. I think that is.
Yeah, that's another factor as well, David. That's another factor as well. There's a lot of people out there that don't accept their time is over, and I think I've accepted that I've ran my course. That it's time for somebody else wants to commentate Marvel, by all means, like that's on you. Jesus Christ, James.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So I wanted that. I wanted that hard cutoff. I don't want people like kind of questioning where's Tubbo at tournaments. I want people to be like, oh, he retired, he's done, and that's that. This makes things easier for me.
Well, honestly, without gassing you up too much, I really thought that your last set was really good.
Thanks, man. I really tried hard. I really did my best.
No regrets. Good job.
Nope.
No regrets. You even got the Morbius.
I did. Yo, my last call of my last game ever, I had a Morbius reference.
Yeah, that's probably not going to age super well, but it's hilarious right now.
I don't give a shit. It's so good.
Yeah, right.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's very.
I'll cringe 10 years from now, but right now it feels amazing.
No, that's great. That's great. All right, cool. Well, anything else to say about Combo Breaker? High five everybody involved.
Real quick, I just want to thank everyone who said nice things to me after I made my announcement, because it's literally been everyone. I've not had a single person shit on me, which is, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. It was unbelievable that I had such a positive effect on people, and I cried so much. I was crying on the ride home, trying to hide it with other people in the car, and I couldn't even help it. So thanks, guys.
As it was happening on stream, a lot of people had very positive things to say in there as well. I don't know if you saw that, but there was a lot of good stuff.
I went back and looked last night. Yeah, I saw that, and I saw other people restreaming and their responses, and it's just so much love. My heart. It's too much.
Good work out there. Good work.
But you'll still be on the show. You'll still be doing this and everything.
Yeah, I'll still be here. I'm not leaving the FGC. Just the extracurriculars.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to say very briefly that I played in Street Fighter V in the tournament, and it went really badly. And I was very mad for a little while. My hand control was just not there, and I knew that was the case going into it. But sometimes it feels better, and sometimes it feels worse, and it's unpredictable. So I wanted to see if maybe it would feel good. It really super didn't. And the guy who beat me was also a good player. And, if I had full control, I don't know that I would have won necessarily, but it wouldn't have felt so terrible. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then after it happened, I couldn't even put my split box back together. I had to ask TuboWare to do it.
Yeah. I was confused at first. Yeah. Dang. I was confused at first. I was like, oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had asked me just to put the cord back, and I was just like, oh, yep. All right. Sure. I got you, man. Don't worry.
That definitely sucked. But then on thinking about it more, I'm glad that I got a competitor badge at Combo Breaker for the very first time. I've been there many, many years, and I've never had a competitor badge. Same with UFGT before that. I've never had. So that feels good just to have that. And even though this particular instance of it went badly, it is part of my journey to getting competitive again. And there's definitely going to be ups and downs. This is definitely a down. But I'm happy that I'm on that path regardless. So hopefully the future goes better. But I'm gonna stick on the path.
On a positive note, I still got it in Street Fighter 4. Brian F was talking that good shit, and I fucked his ass up.
All right,
Mr. CLG, hit me up. You want a Street Fighter 4 player? I got you.
Dude,
and I was taking out players in ST who made top 8, and when I sat down to cap, I was like, dude, I haven't played this game in 3 years. I don't know. I don't even remember what's going on in this game anymore. And then all of a sudden I beat them, and I was I felt bad actually that I had said that about myself, and then I beat them. But,
do you feel better?
That's the OS, dude. That's the
I didn't mean to OS. I really thought I was going to sit down.
You did it. You're an old veteran. You did it on purpose.
I really didn't. But it was a lot of fun. That was great.
Dude, I mean, the funny thing is I haven't played a fighting game at an event in maybe 3 years. I mean, 4 years, even before the pandemic. I just never play when I'm at events because I'm just so disappointed in my own self.
Let's get back in there. Let's do it.
I'm kind of thinking about doing it because so Arturo wanted to show me the monitor tech, and I went into the back, and he wanted to play. He was like, "Play me in Street Fighter. I'll show you." And I mean, it went about exactly as you think, right? I mean, I basically never moved, and I kind of remembered why Street Fighter V does bother me in some ways playing it as opposed to watching it. I don't have the patience to know that everything Dalsum does is a true meaty, so I can't press any buttons. And it doesn't feel good as a player in a way. But still, like, playing against him was kind of fun. We played Tekken, which I hadn't even played forever. And I even won a game against his Jack, which was weird. So, but, I did beat him once. I did beat his Dalsum once because I got my knowledge check on him. He just didn't know my mix-up, and so I got away with that. But, no, it's not, Shay. Anyone who ever says playing people who are better than you is the best way to learn is really not the best way to learn, in my opinion.
It depends how much better.
It's just up to the individual.
Yes, it's 100% up to the individual. For me, as a muscle memory person who needs to see my stuff working, playing against people that I can't hit is like hard. Like, I get more discouraged. I was really good at Street Fighter 4 until Justin moved in. And then when Justin and Flo were at my house all the time, I significantly became a worse fighting game player. Because nothing worked on Justin, so I wouldn't try anything on anybody else.
Listen, man, here's the thing about that. Justin Wong, I did Hop Ultra on that guy, okay? Everything works on Justin Wong.
Yeah.
Man, see me in Street Fighter 4. I was so good in that game.
You would. He definitely would.
He beat me in tournament, but I definitely did Hop Ultra on him on stream at UFDT.
So it really depends. It really depends, like everybody's saying in the chat, how much better the person is than you, kind of thing. Yeah. Playing against Art, I'm not, I just like, it was whatever. He's not the best at Tekken, so that's why I was able to take one game, even, which was crazy. But honestly, like, it felt good.
But could you see the frames?
So here's the interesting thing. So Street Fighter, it was hard to tell the difference.
We gotta hurry. Yuki's waiting on us.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter. I already switched the order of everything, by the way. Okay. Street Fighter, I couldn't tell because I was stuck in block stun 90% of the time. Right, that's Dalsum. When he let me try Marvel, it was at 120 megahertz. 120 hertz refresh rate, and it looked pretty smooth. And I will say this: Dr. Doom's launch, super jump, jab towards heavy punch, air dash down, raw launch, loop.
It's a heavy punch, yeah.
Right, loop.
Yeah. Where the heavy punch button would be, sure.
Right. So normally when I try that combo, it takes me maybe 15 tries before I finally get back into it and I can do the loop a couple of times. I messed up the loop the first time, and then I got it the second time, I got it the third time, and I got it the fourth time. And it was really odd feeling. So even when I was trying to do my Felicia combos, after throws and stuff, and I wanted to OTG with the down forward medium punch, I kept hitting everything super early and it wouldn't come out. I had to learn to delay my buttons a little bit. Then he ran Tekken at 390 hertz, dude. That thing was the smoothest looking thing ever. I mean, after I finished playing it, as you're playing it, it's hard to tell. Remember, I'm the guy that almost destroyed Evo East because I couldn't tell the input lag, the display lag was so bad. But after I got up from Tekken and started walking back to the venue, I swear real life looked weird. It just, real life actually looked kind of weird to me. So the thing I will say this though, from Arturo's side on Street Fighter V, I could never throw him and I could never shimmy him. He was actually reacting to the throw animation to tech, and it was the wildest thing. I've never felt that in Street Fighter V, and he was like, yeah, I've never been able to do this before this tech. So from fighting him, I can definitely see it's a thing. It's just there's no way to standardize it for tournaments right now, so never gonna be able to do it. So,
and there won't be for 20 years, so who cares? This is a waste of time.
Our best hope right now, honestly, is the Unreal Engine killing the input delay on all platforms so that, we can make it work.
All right. Anything else to say about Combo Breaker? Good job, everybody.
Nope. But do want to say
it was cool.
The events don't stop. the events don't stop. You can type !DreamHack or !Beyond in the stream right now, and you can check out the DreamHack app. So you can use the QR code on the screen right now to download and find out about it. It is coming up, in fact, this very weekend, June 3rd
Fighting
through 5th.
games are back.
Yep. Over $20,000 in prize pools. You can see there's going to be Guilty Gear Strive, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, King of Fighters 15, Super Smash Bros. Melee. And you can register now at smash.gg/DHDAL, DHDAL22. And, fighting game tournaments are back, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, we went to DreamHack
Arslan
Dallas,
Ash is going.
a couple
Nice.
years ago, before COVID, obviously, and had a really good time. I really liked it there. Also, by the way, it's only a few blocks away from Dealey Plaza. So if you're a history buff, go check that out too. It's right there.
No one knows what that is.
Shut up, TuboWare. I love you.
Man, I never been to a DreamHack. It would have been cool if they would have brought me out to one.
Yeah, Tubbo. Shut
Maybe
up, man.
if
I
you
We'll have
totally,
a Rumbleverse event. Maybe
Too
we'll
late.
have a Rumbleverse event in the future.
I definitely wanted to go to Daily Plaza, the Daily Planet. Was
Yeah,
that?
go over
Yeah,
where Dealey Plaza
what are you
is.
talking about, David? Dude,
Dealey-
Daily
it's-
Planet?
It's a big dealio.
The Daily Bugle?
I don't
it
know what
is.
you guys are talking about.
I can't
Yeah,
believe
neither
you
do
don't
you,
know
nerd.
all about it.
Please
so.
check out DreamHack Dallas. Of course, there will be streams as well. Thanks to them for supporting us on the show. High five.
Yeah, absolutely. So good event, good stuff. Run by Jabali. A lot of it is helped by Jabali. So obviously, someone in charge of who knows FGC is in charge.
Whoa. Don't give Jabali credit for this. This is Tong Lee. DreamHack Beyond is a Tong Lee production, my friend.
Well then, okay. Well then, there you go. Now we,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
right.
Alex doesn't get credit for everything, all right? That is just Tong Lee, okay?
All right.
But maybe Alex is actually involved. I might not know. But I do know that's a Tong Lee thing, all
They
right?
both are.
I mean, they're roommates, right? I mean, they live in the same house, don't they? So
Best bros. Best bros forever.
I'm sure
All
it
right.
has something to do with that. But definitely check that out. Once again, check out the app as you can see over here. Use this QR code. Frame cap this. Get your phones onto the screen now. And there you go. And download the DreamHack app. All
That's
right.
it.
Okay.
Let's bring
so
on Yuki. Take
Yep.
a break.
We're gonna we were gonna talk about some other stuff, but I've changed the order. Let's get Yuki on here right after this break. Be right back, guys. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the it's a smoky and hot Tuesday show for everybody out there, and we are now entering the interview. And for today, we have brought along a guest, and that will be Yukiinari of the San Diego FGC. Yuki, how are you doing?
I'm doing
Hi,
great.
Yuki.
And the funny thing you said smoke, because I literally have like a plate of barbecue, just from like Postmates. Literally literally the smell of smoke is happening.
Yeah, that's what James was referencing.
That's 100% what I was referring to.
Yep,
Come
that's what it
on.
was.
Wow, James Chen, the empath of the FTC.
Actually,
I'm doing
I do
great.
consider myself the empath of the FGC, but that's another story. How are you doing?
Aside from a little hungry and a little stoned, I am doing great.
Yeah.
SoCal? Let's go.
SoCal, baby. I'm still covering a little, just because I underestimate how much physical the actual
Dude,
physical toll
So,
that combo workout's gonna do.
We were talking about this before the stream started. I just want to mention Steph, Vexany, the photographer, tweeted out, I didn't realize how socially and mentally drained I would be after Combo Breaker. I am absolutely wrecked. And I think the 2-year pandemic has made us all forget how to attend a major and preserve energy.
No, for real. Like literally by Friday, I was like, oh my god, my voice is already shot, and I'm already like physically exhausted. And I was like, we still have the exhibition. And we still have like calls on Sundays. And I literally was so tired. Also, I got fucked by allergies, like absolutely destroyed. Like that was a a -1 matchup. Like I was so zonked. I couldn't even. I had to miss the exhibition that day because I was just.
Yeah, suck in our dirty, filthy, pollinated Midwest air.
Yeah, you know what? That's how the West Coast laws. I won't I don't believe anything otherwise.
We're
from fever in your eyes.
Yeah.
We're from the pristine wildernesses of Southern California.
That's the problem.
There's no pollution of any kind.
Yuki did not have enough smog to inhale to fight all the allergies.
Not enough smoke and not enough smog and not enough weed smoke to get through it.
There it is. All right. Well, we'll talk more about CB later on, but let's start by talking about how it is that you got into the FGC and taking fighting games seriously.
So I was a filthy, disgusting Overwatch and League of Legends player for a while, and like not very good, by the way. But but I was playing that for a while, and then I was so fed up with team games. Like, holy crap, I hate everybody. I don't want to talk to people. Like, well, in a sense, but like I don't want to like talk to people that I don't care about in games, especially that when I think that they suck and they're trash. So my friend Captain Princess or Cam from the AVFGC was just like, play some fighting games, and I started out actually my first game. I don't think people realize this about this. My first game was actually Skullgirls, like on release. I didn't even know what a fighting game was, and I just kind of was just like, I had like one of those really shitty like hoardy like mini pads that like cost like $20 on Amazon. Terrible. But I actually started there, but I didn't get into it because I had nobody to play with, and I was just kind of like, I don't know anything, so I just went back to playing just like disgusting League of Legends Overwatch player, and being miserable, hating myself. And then my friend's just like, well, you can hate yourself more if you play like Street Fighter, and I was just like, all right, fine, I'll do it because
that sounds great.
What could go wrong? And and then it kind of then it kind of snowballed in there, and I
was that 4 or 5 by that point.
No, it was 5. Season 2. I literally season 2.5 actually. I actually started out playing Laura.
That's like what 2017-ish.
Yeah, so I'm pretty new to fighting games overall.
That's 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
That's actually pretty good already.
I'm old now.
I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
But I'm almost old now.
You're not old, trust me.
It sounds to me like we're like not starting at the beginning then, because you're already somebody at that point who was playing competitive games. So how is it that you like what is it about competitive games that draws you into them?
I want to win.
You're just a competitive person.
I'm just a competitive person. Like I've always had good connection with like fighting games. Well, not fighting games, just like video games and stuff. And always wanted to. And then especially when the multiplayer gets involved, then I'm just like, well, I don't want to lose to some rando rando. I want to win. Like no one really losing. No one goes like, oh wow, I think losing was better than winning. But like, yeah, I just wanted to win, and I just kind of stumbled my way through.
Let's put it this way. Like for me, growing up, I used to play board games all day, and I would flip boards whenever I got mad. So, like whenever I lost and stuff. So like literally like that competitive spirit was there even from the beginning, born from board games. Were there anything like, were you playing board games or, were you playing sports in school or anything like that? Because like we found a lot of people.
Tell us your
sports,
origins, okay?
Yeah.
Not how you started playing Midnight. We want to know the start.
The origin story, I actually think is my asshole dad. Teaching me chess.
That's what we want. We want the deep stories.
Like my dad was just like, I'm going to teach you how to play chess, and the way he taught it is very fighting game-esque, despite never playing a fighting game. He literally was just like, you are going to learn today. And that is, you are an ignorant child, and I will destroy you at this game, and I will smoke you.
Wow. Okay.
I'm so mad because I'm like, I'm just a child. I eat crayons and shit. I don't know anything.
So Yuki, tell us more about how this hatred for your father drove you to playing Street Fighter V.
Dude, we're
getting to the stereotype.
Dude, we're definitely making the Queen's Gambit starring Yuki, at some point in time. So,
but that's definitely why I got a competitive. I'm just like, why the hell do I just let this just old man just beat me in chess? Also, I'm still terrible at chess to this day. I'm like traumatized. I'll never play chess again. I'm like, that game sucks, trash, unbalanced.
Game. Only been around for 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Dead game.
Dead
But just
That's why Serlin made chess
Dead
too.
game.
Come on.
True, we do
That
chess
is
too.
why. Because chess was faulty and flawed, and he had to fix it.
Chess is the faulty, flawed game.
yeah, no, chess it's so unbalanced because it favors the smarter player, and that's not fair.
That's true. That's true.
Biological advantage. There's a
And that's why we have
biological
V-Trigger
advantage.
today. It started with chess not being fair because of
Exactly.
a smarter player, and then today we have V-Trigger.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the butterfly effect.
So eventually, after a lifetime of being competitive and blowing up at your dad, and then your then your friends convince you to finally play fighting games. So it's Street Fighter, and did you start playing Minot then, or how did you get into that?
I played Laura actually because I don't know if you've noticed about my Twitter ad or anything, but I like women. And I was just like, that's my favorite character right now. And I look at it and I'm just like, and I'm like, wow, she's really annoying. And also like, there's still a lot of like in-depth technical shit. And I just really like, as I also another backstory. I used to be a classical music major for flute. So like I have like,
okay.
so I'm very much about the labbing lifestyle where you're just about drilling and
Yes,
perfect.
yeah.
You get it perfect 1,000 times before you even go onto stage or onto sets. So the idea of me just playing fighting games and just being like, oh, I can just lab this setup, or I'm learning Laura, who's not by far like any like the most technical character at the time, but like I was having fun with her. I'm not much of it. Like I am actually interested in learning learning a grappler, female grappler, because I'll never play men. Sorry, I'm sexist. but like I just started to like that was around 2.5. My friend Cam was just like, all right, I'm playing Minot, like she's so fun, and like I think she's so cool. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And meanwhile, I'm playing Laura, and I'm like, this something's not right. I'm not about being aggressive and getting in. I don't want to deal. I don't like doing that. I'm gonna play much more like I want to be more reserved,
Defensive,
and just keep people out. Yeah, defensive, exactly. Because I thought that was a way easier than trying to get in. Because my head's just like everyone, like I see all the pros, they keep hitting stand fierce every single time and hit perfectly, and I keep whipping and I keep dying. Like clearly the character is at fault. So I decided to go with I started looking at Minot because I'm like, wow, like she's really interesting. And I started watching, like I'm like, I think I'm just gonna play Minot and I'm just gonna do it. And my cam's like, yeah, go ahead, do it. And then at the time I had no idea how to like read like a good way for me to like learn combos. So like literally I would have to read out dictation because I am a former music major. Like I have to read notation. Right. I can't just do anything by feel. I need to see it written down so I can memorize and get in my head for like the longest time. So for that I literally asked my friend Captain Princess, aka just huge shout outs by the way, because like literally would not be here without them. I literally had me like, hey, can you like get this like here, I can send you a clip of a Minot player who we will never no longer mention, Hatsune Miku, and I want you to notate everything. Dang. From negative edge, everything, and then my friend was just like, yeah, okay, I'll do it.
Because I mean, what's interesting about that is that, Minot's negative edge stuff, it's like you can't really notate timing in combos, right? But from a musical standpoint, that's probably one of the things that appealed to you the most about doing those Minot combos, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I popped off so hard getting the first, like, the standard, like, the considered BMB of Minot combos, which is like from like the stand, like from double stand fierce with like native orange links into a double jump, and I popped those so hard because that was like that was mind-blowingly hard for me because this is my first fighting game and this is my second fighting game character that I like learned, and it is so sad. I think I've spent about hours in the lab, total combined, like just learning Monot, and I love every moment of it. Actually, like I don't actually like playing against a lot of people overall. Like, and I've only started playing against people more because of that. But I love the lab. I'm obsessed with it. In fact, going to when Seth came out with V Trigger 2, and everyone in the NA was just like, garbage V Trigger. Don't play it. It's a fucking joke. It's a meme. And I was just like, no, this looks fun. This looks fun. And especially when like Hi-Fi and a couple of other people started documenting some tech, and God, it was pretty rough back then for a Seth VT2 main, because the V trigger, like V reversal, is just a free like counter.
Right.
And but I just spent hours just labbing that, and like I developed developed a surprising amount of tech where a lot of players actually know who I am. Cool. Because like a lot of people know me because I'm like, oh, like I remember I was talking to Just a Kid for like the first time, and I was like, oh, you know all the like Seth, like, you know all the Seth VT2 tech and like the not, and I'm like, oh shit, people know me now. It's weird.
I mean, because the thing is, Seth VT2 very similar to Monot VT1, in which it's not automatically timed. It's a very rhythm based kind of thing, and so that seems right up your alley again, right? So.
Who'd you play in League and Overwatch?
Okay, so you know what's funny is like I think it really actually reflects on the characters I like playing in overall. Just so I played a lot of Zoner or League of Legends characters, and I really like the Azir. Azir was one of the like that was before I had my whole before I turned to like full sexist and it's like only female and like non-binary characters. but before then I used to play like Xerath, Azir, AP Kog'Maw, and that was so fun being just like playing from a distance, playing defensively, and being able to, I guess, making hard reads in terms of like what someone's gonna be doing. But I also played like just absolute dumb tank characters, like particularly my favorite was in League of Legends was Hecarim. Like I love that character. Yeah. I love playing mid Hecarim because of Keen, and I'm sad that that's like the main reason I quit League of Legends was because like they made Hecarim not as fun. So
God. Patches.
Yeah, patches. Patch culture taking down my favorite characters again. But yeah, no. So like, and then I'm actually going back into learning like Rainbow or Laura, in addition to learning Rose. So those actually do fit within my they do fit within like my character archetypes from League of Legends.
That makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
No, Rose would be a perfect character. Actually, it's another zoning, annoying kind of character. So
for sure.
All right, so let's. Oh, what you got something, Brock?
I was just going to talk about Exo Academy.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. I was hoping
been trying to lead into that,
Absolutely. Do it.
All night. So you talk a lot about labbing. Tell us a little about the labbing you did with Exo Academy, Yuki.
Yeah, and again, for the viewers at home, let them know what Exo Academy is.
Yeah, let us know what Exo is all about. Tell us all.
All right, so quick context. Exo Academy is an initiative started by Persia, who huge shout outs to her, where they take rising talent within the female and I guess with me now being their non-binary talent within the FGC, and giving them like paying for flights, paying for coaching, as well as getting like physical therapy and like also mental health experts that like come in and talk to like these rising talents and give them the tools that they need to be at the game. And for me, I was lucky to like I tried calling Sako, and he didn't they didn't never get back. But I got my favorite Western player, Shivs, to be my coach, and
sick.
That was so sick because I don't think I could get some of the best coaching from more closer players in the United States. Just there's so many good ones, but having somebody that can tell you what to do as Monot is like so needed for me as a person like that. Just is like such a character specialist, because it's just like like a coach might just be like, oh, like, well, you need to be spacing more in this, and it's like, well, they don't know matchup specific things that like I'd be doing as a character to do it. Like, for example, I absolutely loathe the Falk matchup. I was playing a lot against Toy's secondary Falk, and I was just getting smoked because I didn't know the matchup. And he was just like, okay, you can just air shot. And I'm just like, I fucking hate this character. I think this is like a 3-7 matchup. And then when I finally got to talk to Shiz, he was just like, I think this matchup's even, if not like maybe slightly in Manat's favor. And I was just like,
what?
I was like, that. I was like, what? So you told me I lost? So you told me I'm losing? And
I mean,
like,
did he explain it? Like, now does it feel different to you if you fight?
oh, absolutely. Like, I don't think I've lost to. I laugh now when I just demolish just online like Falks because they just are getting like they don't know what to do. They're just like, oh, my plan of air shot, like just air shot constantly and low shot doesn't work. I hate this. Like, this character sucks.
So, I mean, overall, though, I mean, have you felt like a massive improvement thanks to Shiv's coaching?
I absolutely agree. Like, I went like, but prior to like, so from announcement start of EXO Academy, I was in Ultra Diamond, and then now I'm in Super Diamond. That's like a pretty good improvement. To be fair, like Ultra Diamond, I was just playing. I hate ranked. Like, that's just like get out of the way. I hate ranked.
Yeah.
I hate ranked. I literally just sat in casuals in Ultra Plat for like forever because I'm just like I don't feel confident. I feel like I'm trash. Like, I have a very negative like view of how I play in my execution. So I'll just sit in casuals at like Plat, Ultra Plat, and just sit there until I get like 96% win rate. I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I'm ready for ranked. So there's that. So I definitely play. I play a lot. I played a lot higher than I was like initially ranked.
Sure.
But but from that journey, I've leveled up so much. I've had a lot of people just come to me like, you've improved.
Oh, nice.
Like, enormously. Like I remember talking to Brutus, and he was like, I knew you when we were in silver with Manat, and you play 1,000 times better. I like talk like Corey, and just a lot of people nowadays. I'm actually recognized as a Manat player, which is, I mean, to be fair, not hard. Or like,
It's not.
there are no more like. I actually think I think besides Tiramisu, there are no more like Manat mains anymore.
Like, maybe just like
United
Jot,
States.
right? Jot,
But Jot, see, even Jot has like a bunch of characters. Yeah, to Luke. So like Manat is no longer considered like a main carry character anymore. That's a pocket character. But it's crazy. Like, people are like, oh my god, you're that Manat player. You like, and I'm like, oh shit, people think I'm actually pretty good at this game. This is weird. I'm not used to
Pretty good
that.
feeling, right? When people recognize you.
Yeah, I actually had to sign like some guy like at Combo Breakers like, hey, can you sign my shirt? Like, because I was also wearing I was wearing my Fish Testament cosplay on Sunday. My Fishing Testament cosplay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to be clear for those who don't know. But yeah, like, some guy literally came and was like, I love your cosplay. Can I sign your? I'm like, oh my god, I've never had it. Like, I don't have a signature for the HC. Gotta make it up on the fly.
Gotta make it up on the fly, yeah.
So like, I'm sorry to that guy. Like, shouts to that guy for again being like just flattering me a lot. Cause I'm just like, I'm not that famous, maybe yet, but like, all right. That was like a really cool moment.
Yeah, it is cool.
You've done stuff with Royal Rivals as well, right?
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
I'd like to know about it.
I mean, yeah, you've done like, didn't you do commentary for Royal Rivals and stuff?
I didn't do any commentary for. I've only done a little bit of commentary. I actually did for its predecessor, Queens of Quarantine, which is this is. All right, let's get settled in. Let's have a little bit of story time with me, and I'll make it as British as possible. So, I was during the pandemic. Competitive is not an option for me. I think I was probably at one of my like lowest points in terms of how I viewed myself as a player. I think that, to be fair, right off of CBT Elastic Chance qualifiers, and I just got bodied 0-2, So like I was just like, oh wow, I don't feel good about myself. And then the pandemic hits, so then I'm like, wow, I can't even like practice, so my drive's gone. I'm like, I think I'll do commentary. I've always like loved people doing commentary. Actually, James, since you're like you're one of my favorites. just gonna throw that out there. Didn't want to make it weird, but I just want to let you know that like this
Awkward.
just from like
David's not a favorite, just James.
I'm sorry. It's just like literally it's just more of a like
I'm happy, yeah.
Anyway, so like I was just like, I'm interested in commentary. I really like James Chen. I really like there's just so many other like commentators that I can't even list off because my brain's a little frazzled. And I'm a little stumped. Anyways, but like I was like, I want to do commentary. I think that seems really interesting. I feel like I have so much energy when it comes to fighting games. I want to talk about it, especially I get really excited when like there's another Minot or there's like or just there's characters that I know tech for that I like explaining because I like talking about things that people most likely don't care about. But yeah, so like I got in there. Flexus at the time was already doing a lot of work with so shout out to Flexus for getting me even
of course
involved in this in a weird sense because it kind of goes to karmatic fate. But so I joined there as a commentator. I started doing it. I had a lot of fun. I was doing it, and I was just like, I kind of want to help out more with Queens of Quarantine. It was run by the owner of said organization, whom I will not ever ever again.
But what was the organization though? Can you just describe?
Queens of Quarantine was the original because Royal Rivals is just a rebrand.
Yeah, I mean, can you just like describe what Queens of Quarantine and
sorry, I'm dumb. But Queens of Quarantine was an online mainly Street Fighter organization that was hosting events just for women and eventually non-binary people within the community because we didn't have any events, and I think it was a perfect time to showcase just all those talent, and because we're definitely a minority, but there are so many really good people that are just kicking ass, especially Marine. Like shout outs to her, like she's amazing. But yeah, so like I started to take on more roles and responsibility. Eventually, I basically became in charge of running the entire organization, aside from like besides payouts. The owner at that point essentially just bankrolling payouts and talking to sponsors about prize pools and etc. And then we were actually on the verge of doing like multiple partnerships with like Crescent Esports. I think one more with I think Hitbox and a couple of other like just a lot more. We were trying to become more to start to grow out of just being that online tournament series. And then, just if in case people don't know what happened, just very bad racist rant came at the start of Black History Month, and it obviously none of us ever on the team besides the owner were unanimous, and we're like, we cannot be working for somebody, nor accepting money for in any capacity with this person. And we had to sit for a moment and be like, okay, well, we're not doing Queens of Quarantine anymore. Like we cannot, for obvious reasons, because it's despicable behavior.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were just like, all right, so what do we do? Like, what do we move for? Because personally, I was devastated because I had multiple like art commissions lined up. I had multiple. We were talks with multiple people about.
There's a lot of momentum. There was a lot of momentum.
And it just was completely just shot dead because of it. And I was ready to be like, all right, just pack it in. We're done. Can't do it. I'm going to tell all the talk to all of our artists and be like, sorry, we can't do it anymore. And like, there's definitely no way we're going to get any money for it, and we're not going to do any operations. And the team, including Joe Monday, who is owner and like the head of the online local, who is again the main reason why we're even still here is because of his platform. And we're just like, okay, do we just quit and not do this anymore, or do we just move on without the owner and the money associated behind it? And we were like, we all unanimously agreed, like, I think we should just move forward and just do it the way we want to do it, and without being racist and horrible. And
it's kind of important.
That's really important. So me and Flexes and I decided to take the reins. And that's we started hosting more events. Our first event was actually a charity event to the National Black Defense Fund, I believe, and the National Black National Black Disability Coalition.
Right.
And it was just all the money that we did for our match arena were just direct proceeds, and and that was like our first exhibition match, which went really well, and we just kind of kicked off from there. And eventually, we expanded to Guilty Gear Strive as well as a bit of Melty Blood, and the last thing we did with Royal Rebels, we did a team series of like 16 different women and non-binary players, and they all just formed teams of 4 behind like captains such as Mira, Razzo Sharp, Vicky Viper, and Noise Zombie, and that was one of the worst things I've ever done to myself, because that was much work. But I definitely yeah. But that was a really fun thing, despite how much pain it did me mentally. So we did a lot of like we just been trying to do as much work, and we're kind of on a hiatus right now just because I've been busy with school, Exo Academy, and all this stuff. But hoping to resume later on this year.
Yeah, I mean, kind of going back to the combo breaker thing. I mean, talking to Rick all weekend, he was just like, "Oh my God, so many fires putting out and stuff." But that's the life of a TO, right? If there are fires going on and the people and the attendees don't notice, then you are doing an excellent job, basically, right? So there you go. Yeah, so now being a TO is a fun,
oh my God,
fun, tiring thing. So
oh my God,
Can you talk about the ongoing need for organizations like Royal Rivals and Exo Academy?
Yeah, I totally agree with that statement. I really think for Tekken, Ladies Night Fight Club, Queen of the Hill, there's definitely a few more. Kunoichi's CGL leagues have been all great initiatives, because I really do think there are some amazing women and non-binary members within the fighting game community in each game that they do. And it's hard for a lot of other members in that demographic to be a minority and get into fighting games and get a chance to experience like a level, like a casual level of competitiveness that you don't get in traditional fighting game communities because of just straight up bigotry and just hatred and just and giving them a space, because Royal Rivals has never professed themselves to be like a whole competitive league that's supposed to be on par with NLBC and all the other and like in WNF. We're just here we want to showcase talent, and we want to make other people in the community feel like they're welcome to compete. They can have that chance to be in a bracket without being misgendered or just being demeaned upon in chat, because I've talked to so many other members in the community that feel the same way. That's like, I don't compete because I don't enter a local because I'm scared of the comments I get. And it's really important. I'm really glad that I've met some amazing people doing this because of just being a nice person, essentially. And
it's weird how that'll get you places.
It's been great. Yeah, exactly, right? But yeah, I've been having a wonderful time with and meeting all the people, and I was so happy to meet like Glitter and Sherry and everyone else, just because I met them through Royal Rivals. So
you said that you've been in the FGC since 2017, and that in your view that's not very long. Well, it's 5 years, which is quite a while. I'm wondering if you feel as if things have changed with respect to women and non-binary folks in the FGC, or whether they haven't, or maybe it's something in between.
No, it's definitely gotten better. Like, I don't feel like, I mean, I see terrible takes about women and trans people and with like current political discourse. It's been getting worse in some aspects, but overall, like, I think the community as a whole has been better and better about condemning bad actors in the community and making feel like, wow, I didn't make a mistake being here and spending my time here.
So even
That's
in
good.
just the 5 years,
glad to
you
hear
feel
that, yeah.
like, I mean, obviously a lot of stuff happened during the pandemic as well. I mean,
Right.
do you feel like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the first year of the pandemic, there was, you know, obviously a lot came to light during that time. Do you feel like that was kind of like a big turning point, maybe almost kind of a silver lining of the pandemic kind of in a way, you know?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, definitely noticed during the pandemic, we really started having more open conversations about it. I mean, the reason why Queens of Quarantine and all these other and more female-oriented organizations started popping up during that period of time was just because there was a need for it, and there was a conversation that needed to be told, and us organizing events around that was a way of like normalizing women and non-binary folk in the community.
I mean, from a visual standpoint, and again, this is me looking at the things around me, but at Combo Breaker, I felt like there was just a lot more women playing and competing than even just 2019. So
And Combo Breaker's
I mean,
always
just-
been. Combo,
yeah, maybe I'm seeing shit, maybe I'm making that up, but I feel like there is a lot more women like just there
Yeah, I
having a
mean-
great time, which is cool to see.
again, you know, shout outs to Rick kind of creating that environment. Combo Breaker, I feel like, has always been one of the best in terms of that ratio. But yes, I agree with you absolutely too. Like this year, it felt like it was even on a different level of that.
I
so.
mean Frosty's too. Like it was noticeable that there's
Oh,
more
okay,
women you know,
okay.
competing. At least I feel. But yeah,
That's
Jalen says too, and 16-bit. Yeah, that's at least I'm not just like making shit up in my brain.
Was that your experience, Yuki?
Oh, that was absolutely true. Like, I don't even like. There are some people like I don't even know who you are. Like, you're just happen to be. You just happen to be like you're just happen to be like a female
Girl,
presenting
right,
or like
yeah,
feminine person in a fighting game community, and I don't know of you, and that's honestly great. That means that there's more people because it was kind of shitty feeling in like for 2019 going to be like, oh, I can count on like my
Yeah,
hands.
And you
How many
knew
people I
every
know
one
them.
of them. And you knew
Yeah,
every
like
one.
knowing the majority of them. Yeah, and
Right.
it was just like, no, the fact that I can just go and be like, I don't know you, I don't recognize you, but you're like, and also I just want to point out like another reason why I think we're seeing at least more female printing people at Combo Breaker was also because I feel like they feel crap. What's it? They feel crap. I'm busy on like.
Well, welcome.
They feel more welcome. They feel safer to present the way they want to. I knew
Right.
a lot of trans people that would just dress very masculine, just to play the game and just feel like they can at least participate without the fear of any
Sure.
repercussions. And I think I definitely saw just a lot of more people just like for me example, I got dressed the way that I want to. I can dress in like fucking wild ass. I like dressed in like I had like I think I wore like 6 different outfits for the entirety of
Drip,
Combo Breaker.
head to
Actually,
toe.
7.
The entire, every
7.
time I walk,
I am the drip champion of Combo Breaker 2022. I'm gonna say it right now, and I am not. No one can
Actually,
Rob was pretty drippy too.
I was about to say, can we talk about Razzo's boots a little bit?
No, okay, Razzo's in top 8, but for the entirety of the event, though, I'm number 1. I'm sorry, I was number 1 for that.
Oh man.
If,
Well, that's
if
awesome.
I didn't say something about fishing before we let you go, I hope we're not keeping you too long. But if I didn't mention fishing, people would crucify me on Twitter. So
would.
talk
I
to
would.
us about fishing. Yeah, let's talk about fishing. Where did the passion come from? How long has it been going for? And when are you coming out here so we can go ice fishing?
That's fair. All very amazing questions. Honestly, I don't even know why I like fishing. Like, I don't know why the younger me. I don't know.
Fished me for 10 years straight.
Okay, so like I have an uncle in Korea that does like fishing a lot and take me fishing. And I'd have fun, but like I don't know what the fuck was wrong with my like mentally ill child brain, but I just fixated on fishing and it never went away. Like it just never went away. I literally mean like my dad doesn't care about fishing. I don't think I knew any other relatives besides about like a couple of uncles, and I never seen them very often care about fishing. It's just me. It's just mainly me that cares about fishing. And I would be like, Dad, I want to go fish. Like it's like the weekend after school. I'm like, Dad, taking me fishing, right? Taking me fishing, right? I'll make his coffee. like at 6 a.m. just to be like, hey, like take me fishing, let's go, like let's go to the lake.
And then your dad
And
would
like
bring
instead
out
of going
the
to the toy
fishing
store,
rod.
I'd go to like Walmart. I'd be like, can we go to Walmart to the fishing section? I want to go to like look at all the lures and shit. I'm not even kidding. I was like, I want like, I mean, I still like the toy store and like games, but I was just like, I was obsessed, and I don't even know why. I still don't even know why, but it's always stuck with me. Even like before, like even after I transitioned, I was just like, I never had that feeling where I'm like, oh, I'm.
Listen, fishing doesn't identify with gender, Yuki.
Exactly.
Okay? Anyone can be a fisher person.
I just picture your dad gripping the fishing pole out of your hands and throwing the chessboard in front of you instead.
The chessboard down. Like,
No, you're gonna learn today.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
Like, time to go home, child. Last cast, like literally, they'd always be like, I'd be like getting like one more cast, please. I want one more cast at. Those are like vivid memories. But I just love fishing, and like literally, I never felt like me transitioning would ever change that in any way. And luckily, I have a partner that loves fishing, so we get to go out more often. I'm actually about to go. I got my tax money. I'm gonna go buy like an inflatable like boat that's gonna fit my car, so I can take it out to like the lakes.
Wow, cool.
I'm going hardcore, and it's. No, I love fishing. I was literally the first thing I thought when I got into the Wyndham Garden, and I'm like looking outside my room, and like the like ponds are out there in the park. I'm like, hey, are there fish in there? Can I go fishing in there? And I was just like, I should have packed my tackle box with me. I actually should have.
Next time. No.
My fishing Testament cosplay actually did have like I actually brought a fishing rod and reel with me. I actually had a fishing rod with me.
That's amazing.
And so I was just like, oh, I should have brought some tackle at the least. But I literally like anywhere I see a body of water, and it's like for me freshwater because I don't like saltwater fishing that much.
Okay.
But like every time I see a body of water, wherever I'm going, I'm like, hey, can I fish there? Do you think there are fish in there? Like, like my partner gets so annoyed. Like my family just in general, we just get so annoyed. Because I am that like just I'm obsessed. Like there's nothing stopping me, and I am the most proficient fisher in the fighting game community. And until somebody can prove me otherwise, yeah.
But have you ever fished in below 10-degree weather?
No, but I want to because I think I'll find a good excuse to drink.
Well, when you come out here, we still won't do that because we get a cabin thing that sits on top of the ice. And it's very warm in there.
Yeah, ice fishing sounds so amazing. I want to try it.
Ice fishing is literally just to like get drunk and smoke weed with your friends. And sit in a room for like 8 hours and play chess. Actually play chess, yeah.
Oh no, we're not playing chess. We're playing chess.
Me and Saltine will want to play you with
disjointed hurt boxes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Dude, me and Saltine will want to play chess with you for sure.
I mean, honestly, all the Monot stuff makes sense now. Standing strong is like throwing out the reel, right? You're like trying to bait people, and then you're like catch them, right?
Yeah, no, like dead ass. My like, if I had a fighting game Sona, like a character that was just me in a fighting game, absolutely, fishing rod and reel is like a huge part of like the kit. Like, I would be a weird setup zoner. We need a fishing fighting game.
Yeah.
I'm already a Sega Bass speedrunner, and I'm sixth place in the world. But I want there to be a fighting game. I want there to be.
Did they verify your record ever?
Yes, they did. Finally, literally 2 days before Combo Breaker,
Nice.
I literally checked. Like, I'm just like, I haven't thought about like, did my shit get verified? I'm like, yes, I did. Finally, sixth place. Because I was literally just begging in comments of my like run, like, please verify, please. I love you. You're nothing. I'm like, JK, you're not nothing. I love you.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us. James, you want to do the old last question?
I mean, obviously, so the thing that I always ask people is, where did their handle come from? You can explain Yukiinari. You can also explain the Gay Agenda 69 if you want. But,
I think it explains itself.
Exactly.
Because if you come to any of my shit and you're like, what? You're gay? Or you're like, you just come out at me like being homophobic? I mean, like, what did you expect? What did you expect?
But I mean, where did Yukiinari come from?
So, my partner came with that because I'm a fool and I'm lost without her. But like, so I'm half Korean and half Japanese. So
Okay.
that's why I can have all the cool East Asian aesthetics without being kind of cringy about it because we know people. And like, so Yuki is my first name. Yuki is my first name, which is my Japanese name, and my Nari is my Korean name. And it's also a play on words of in Japanese. Inari means like the fox spirit, or like the fox deity for harvests. And so I was just like, and I always liked like, and you can even see right here in my background. I have a Sumi mask. So like, I've always had like that like fox. Oh, I'm also wearing like a kitsune shirt too.
Yeah.
I'm always staying on brand. So I really loved like the fox like that like the Japanese fox aesthetic. And so like how coincidental that my Korean name is Nari. I did not plan any of that shit. That just happened. And my partner was just like, hey, how about you do it like that? I'm like, oh, okay. And then later I'm just like, I think I was probably high, and I was just like, oh my god, I should do the exact same things that she said. And she's just like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, but I said it, so it's a better idea.
It's like James Jonah Jameson coming up with the name Doc Ock, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna take credit for it in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man.
Well, thank you very much for joining us and hanging out with us for a while. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
no, it was so fun, and I haven't laughed like this in a while. I wouldn't say I haven't laughed like this in a while because I literally just came back from Combo Breaker, and that was just nothing but just like just positive emotions all around.
For sure.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you very much again.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for hanging.
It was fun.
And we'll
it was super
see
fun.
you soon. See you soon
Have a
at
good
some more
night.
events. So.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right.
Yeah, say hi when you see us,
Yeah, absolutely.
and we'll plan fishing.
Yes. That's what I'm more excited about. Sorry, James and David. Yeah, no.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Do
okay.
your thing.
Fishing takes priority. I got.
I'm already your
Yeah,
favorite,
thing.
so it's okay. It's all right. So.
That's fair.
True. Yeah, we got bodied by that one.
Then,
Alright.
David, you're just there.
Yeah,
You exist.
My
I'm kidding.
inside
No,
the
I
cabin, I'm
appreciate
not
you.
sure.
I appreciate you running sets with, for the Honda matchup. I actually. Do
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
that
let me
a
know
lot,
if you want to
so-
play again. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I accidentally clicked. No,
It already
no,
happened.
you're still here.
No.
I didn't mean to click.
No.
I didn't mean to
It's
click.
Oh
already
my god! Bye.
It's already
It's over. It's like when Pride Month's over.
All right. Take care. All right, now we can officially transition. Okay, there we go. All right, here.
All
man.
right. Well, that was very
Okay.
cool. Thanks
All
for the
right.
conversation.
Now, 5-5 matchup. Oops, I don't even have. I didn't even put the 5. I haven't prepared the 5-5 matchup question.
My
Golly
great
gum
goodness.
drop.
Golly
Golly
gum
gum
drop.
drop.
I'm
You know
so
what?
sorry.
Instead, you want to just do the order that's here, or do you want to? What do you want to do here?
I have that, and then we're gonna go to the World Tour announcements. Do you want to do the World Tour announcements first?
Hey man, whatever is feasible.
Whatever
with your
works for
workflow
you.
Here. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the World Tour stuff then here. So while I get this all straightened up and ready to go. So there you go.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the fact that at Combo Breaker, the Tekken World Tour was announced for the year 2022, which is the year that we're living in right now. Pretty cool. It has offline play. There are 5 master events. The first one's actually going to be at CEO, which is next month, which is very soon now, in fact, in about a month. There's also going to be, as I said, 4 others that are offline events, and also EVO, which is Master Prime, the Master Prime event. There are going to be 13 regional finals, online tournaments as well. So,
What a name.
all that, Master Prime?
The Master Prime
I
event.
love it.
Sounds like
God.
the evil computer or the evil robot that's taking over the
that's what I was
world,
thinking.
right?
It's like the event that spits out all the other events. It's the event creator. Evil Master Prime.
There are going to be dojo events as well, which is something that Tekken World Tour started, and that is a great idea. I'm happy to see more of that. That, of course, if you're not familiar with it, is where anybody can set up events that can get points as long as you meet certain criteria, which is awesome. It really prioritizes locals. Love
And
that.
everybody's copying it now too, right? So all
Exactly,
the
yeah,
other
there's a-
tours have been copying that.
Correct, but it started here. The regions that are included in the tour are North America, Central America, South America, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, North Africa, West Africa, South Africa, Middle East, Pakistan, South Asia, Southeast Asia, Philippines and East Asia, Oceania, Korea, and Japan. So
Now,
shout outs
does
to them
each
for
one of those
getting.
get a champion that gets invited to the final? Is that how that works?
Each one of them is going to have a regional finals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
And they'll
Sick.
move on.
That's really
Yeah.
cool, man. Good for Africa. Holy shit, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
know,
North Africa,
right?
West Africa, South Africa. That is super cool. I mean, the Tekken World Tour did South Africa. My memory is before others did it.
Yes, they did. Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So they're continuing on that now, which is awesome. Obviously, you got to have Pakistan because, like, clearly they're amazing. So I love it.
And they're good at KOF too. So
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. Happy to hear that. That was announced just before the Tekken Top 8, actually, at Combo
Nice.
Breaker.
Okay.
There were also more details for the Arc World Tour, which was announced a little while ago, but which we got some more info about. So it's actually going to start on August 5th through 7th, which is Evo. So it's going to be starting there. It's also going to be at VS Fighting, Rev Major, CEO Taku, The Mix-Up, something else that's not yet announced, Arc Revo Japan, and Frosty Fausting. So it's going to be going all the way through 2023, and then the finals are going to be in March 2023, and all we know is that it'll be in California.
I would like to point out that Frosty Faustings has to be sitting there like, all you sons of bitches told us that having a major in January in Illinois is a mistake. Every single year for the last 15 years, you told us it was stupid. Well, guess what? Combo Breaker isn't part of the Arxis Tour, and we're the last event now. So hold that shit. We play the long game. Somewhere Bozak is just doing the bird man, wiping his money, like his hands with the money. You know, he's just, yeah, I'm just celebrating. I would be, even though it's like, obviously it's just a timing thing. It just lines up that way, but man, I would just be so happy about that.
I feel like Elvin Shadow would actually be more thankful if they buffed Faust even more, but you know, that's a but
So
it
this
is cool.
both.
Because, I mean, you know, Frosty Faustings has been the most Guilty Gear-oriented major of all time, so it's really,
also been
really
skipped
cool.
over for every world tour because of the timing. The timing doesn't line up
that's true.
with where Evo was and stuff, and it just now they're like right in the smack dab middle of the of a world tour.
Awesome.
So
Good for them.
yeah,
good for them.
And starting with Evo, that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a way
sick.
to start your tour, right?
and not only that.
Arxis kind of killed it with that decision.
And we'll get into this a little bit later because that's on the topic you see down there. But, you know, Evo is the start and things are going to be different for the game, right? That's season 2. So it's going to be pretty
we'll
crazy.
talk about that.
Yeah.
The Arc World Tour will be for both Guilty Gear Strive and for DNF Duel, and there will be a $200,000 total prize pool as well.
Is that just for the finals, or are they spreading that throughout all the events?
It just says the total prize pool. You know, I'm not sure what exactly that entails, but my guess is that would be spread around.
Okay,
Yeah, I would assume so.
Probably. But that's really cool, though. I mean, shout outs to them. And, you know, immediately putting DNF Duel on there, I think is really, really neat as well. So, you know,
For sure.
A lot of people kind of excited for that game as well. So.
This guy.
You know, it makes it even more weird to me that DNF isn't at Evo in some capacity.
I'm sure it will be. There's probably
It
going to
makes
be.
it even more weird to me, man.
Yeah.
I just, after the whole BB tag thing where we're an Evo game and they put the sticker on their box and all that shit, I just kind of assume from this point forward there's going to be some game that, you know, kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge their way into Evo, maybe some sponsorship dollars to get their new game there. And DNF seemed like it was coming out at that time. So I think I just felt like the game would be there automatically. And now it's part of the tour and it's still not at Evo. So yeah, James, I would be surprised if they don't announce it there being somehow, some way.
Yeah, I'll bet you, you know, dollars to donuts that at some point there's probably going to be like some DNF thing announced or something. So I hope
so. If there is, I hope it's soon so I can book a ticket and go because I'm not even regged. Assuming I even like the game, right? Like, I don't even know if I'm going to like the game.
Right, that's what I was about to say. You haven't played much of it. You didn't get a chance to play the beta.
I didn't even play any of it yet. But what people are telling me, it sounds like I'm going to like it.
It sounds like it. I mean, you're going to...
like a TuboWare game.
Yeah, you're going to find that shit that's like Rash's, you know, Wrecking Ball, and you're just going to be like,
I sure am. I sure am. That's the game plan. I can't wait to find my character. I think it's Shooty Shooty Bang Bang Gun guy.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's the
yeah,
dude.
yeah. I love
Yeah,
me
he's-
some guns, right? So there you go. Got the old
So
school
these-
Deadpool quote.
2 world tours announced, or at least more details announced of one. It's pretty cool. Of course, we're still
What's up,
in
Bones?
the pandemic. Like, it's not over. So online play is still in there, and I hope
Sure
that will
is.
continue to be the case even after we can all travel safely and like no longer really be worried about it. Because I really like what online play has done, kind of expanding, how many people can enter and play. And as net play gets better and better, more games come out. I hope that will continue to be a really big part of things. But yeah, I'm happy that world tours are coming back. Of course, Capcom Pro Tour was announced not that long ago, actually. So yeah,
Still have no details on.
Yeah, I know, right? Still no
yeah, right. Not a lot of
information.
info. I mean, as far as the online stuff, there's a lot of info, but the offline stuff, we're not quite sure yet.
No idea.
Yeah, yeah. But nevertheless, like there are these tours that are coming back, which I'm very happy about. All right, you want to move on?
Yeah, okay, I got this all. I think.
Are we ready now?
I think so. Let's do this. So we've got 4 questions to vote on. One of them is longer than the other questions here.
You're
So
supposed to narrow it down to only 3.
were we?
Jeez.
Did we not?
Yeah,
but we
man.
didn't vote on them,
That's
did
how.
we?
We did.
We sure did.
Oh, I
we
guess
did.
I missed it. Okay, sorry.
Well, there's 4 today.
I guess there's 4 today. Here we go. Number
Vote
1.
for 2, nerds.
By the way, are we doing one question? I guess we're
We're
doing.
just
one
doing
question.
one question today. We're just doing
Okay.
one
Vote for
question
1,
today.
nerds.
So you only get to vote for 1, so keep that in mind as I read through these. Number 1, with in-person events returning, should we go back to big tournament reveals or keep online announcements for fighting games? Number 2, what are some ways that FGC can get more casual players invested in the competitive scene? Number 3, considering discussions around KOF 15's balance patch being released so close to Combo Breaker, what are some of the worst fighting game balance patch timings in history? And then number 4, how does information accessibility affect perception of fighting games? Back in the day, so few players were playing correctly that against most random people, a knowledgeable player could win even bad matchups. With information being more accessible now, a matchup that's bad on paper is more likely to play out that way, making the difficulty of a bad matchup feel more tangible. Similarly, pre-modern internet, if you beat all your friends, you thought you were godlike. Now it's much more likely you're aware of pro players and how much they outclass you. So again, the actual question is, how does information accessibility affect perception of fighting games?
All right.
There you
so
go.
the poll is up! Exclamation mark 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you are a subscriber, you get to vote for multiple choices. So go ahead and start voting. Exclamation mark 1, exclamation mark 2, exclamation mark 3, exclamation mark 4. I think.
Do it.
No, that's
Exclamation
not
mark
poll.
beyond. Exclamation mark DreamHack.
Why do I not have a poll? Wait, I thought I created the poll. Where's the poll? Hang on a second,
Oh
guys.
no!
Oh no.
James.
Jesus, what the heck? I thought I did this. I don't even see a poll. Okay, create. All right, try again. Start now. Go. Vote now. Vote now. There you go. Sorry. I clicked create and it was just gone. I don't even know what the heck was
James,
going on.
we take 1 week off, and this is what happens.
Dude, right?
Exclamation point Morbius.
Exclamation mark
point
1,
James.
exclamation mark 2,
The whole
exclamation mark 3,
whole
or
damn
exclamation mark
stream is
morb.
The whole damn
Exclamation
stream is
mark
morb.
Big Morbius. I'm telling you, that's what's going on here. It's actually, there's a secret big Morbius out there that is using everybody joking around about Morbius as a way to sell you to watch Morbius. The whole idea of this Morbius meme business was come up with by the Morbius advertising team, who was like, we have a terrible movie on our hands. What do we do? How do we get people to watch it anyway? By coming up with stupid memes and memeing our way into getting people to watch our terrible movie anyway. Big Morbius. Don't give in to Big Morbius. Don't give in to Big Morbius.
Did you know that
Well,
they
David-
actually found the guy who they know who accidentally created that meme? There was a whole article on it, I think I saw.
Yeah, the Morb Illuminati. I love it. That's a good name. Good work, the Stonerer. Yes. You know
Well,
who is the
David-
king of Big Morbius? You know who's in the pocket of Big Morbius? Humbag.
Humbag.
Humbag
is
is,
in the
yeah.
pocket of Big Morbius.
Absolutely.
He's
Well,
getting
David,
he's
this-
getting the big Morbucks.
This weekend, Sunday night movie, I'm going to be showing Morbius. If you want to join us and laugh.
I mean,
Anyway, what's going on with this voting here?
I don't know if I'll watch
can we
it.
close this poll?
I have a morbid curiosity about that movie, but I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
You can't use that as a pun. That's the name.
That's the name of it.
That's the name. Come on.
You're just memeing.
That's not a pun. All right.
All right, what's the poll?
Poll is
Close it.
closed. Number
Done.
4 is the
Won.
winner. I cannot put the whole
That's
thing.
the longest
in there.
question on earth.
Okay,
Right.
just put the first sentence in there. So,
Yeah,
how
of
does
course, of
information
course.
accessibility affect perception of fighting games? Again, it's true that back in the day, a knowledgeable player could definitely win even bad matchups because, like, nobody really knew. Well, rarely did people really know, like, all the info. But with info being so accessible now, yeah, I think it's true that, like, a bad
Whoa,
matchup...
where did Tubo go?
Wow, he has been
Tubo.
morbed. Did you get
You've been-
morbed?
He got.
I got
morbed.
morbed.
He got
I
morbed.
got morbed.
What the? I am so scared. Okay.
It's
He's
morbid
been-
time.
He's been morbed. Well, I'm glad you got unmorbed. Yeah, look, I think it's true. I think the premises of this is right. That back in the day, when knowledge was not, nearly spread around as well, certainly people won tournaments, won matches that were predicated on their opponents just not knowing stuff. That nowadays we might consider, if not basic, like pretty well-known info. And I know that because me. I did it. I won tournaments that people just like didn't know stuff, and I won matchups that people just like didn't know stuff. So yes, that absolutely was reality. And I think it's true too that now with info being spread around more, it's more likely that you're going to run into people who just like know a lot. And that's true about in-game stuff. So like it's less likely, although of course still happens, but less likely that your like random trick is going to work because more often people will know about it.
I still hit
And-
Arturo with mine, so I'm just telling you.
I mean,
We
look,
never changed over the subject, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah,
It
you're
exists.
Right, you're right.
It certainly exists still, but it was much more the case before. And I absolutely think it's true that back in the day, you wouldn't know that you were bad. Because
Yeah,
so many of us have these stories of like, well, we were the best of our friend group or our family or whatever, and then we played anybody else, and we were like, I'm the worst, actually.
Right, and I
So
did
many
want
people
to
have
I
that.
did want to hit on that because it has created this kind of weird thing. Because you remember how we used to, like, years ago, we used to have conversations about Smash community had the gods, and FGC was like, we want to take out our best players. It's not like that anymore. And, that information out there has made it. So back then, when we all thought we were the best, it really did kind of craft this whole mindset of, I want to be everybody. And it's not quite like that anymore. So I feel it myself. I don't even play anymore because I feel so bad right these days. So it's interesting.
Well, there's certainly like an option to be a more of a viewer, more of a casual watcher, because that didn't exist until 10 years ago, 12 years ago maybe.
Right.
Just wasn't a thing. So now it is, which is pretty cool. And yeah, people are aware of what top players do. It's very common that people who are at all interested in the competitive side of fighting games will watch what other people do on streams or on YouTube or whatever, and they'll get an idea. Whereas before, you're just kind of coming up with it on your own, or maybe you and your small group of friends or your small scene or whatever would maybe come up with stuff. But much more now, you kind of get an idea of how to play by looking at pro players, sometimes emulating it without really understanding what is being done, but kind of emulating it regardless. So yeah, I think the premise of this question is totally right. And I think that the information accessibility has big impacts, absolutely, on everything from our strength in games to how much knowledge is sort of diffused throughout the scene to how easy it is to win versus somebody you don't know, and how easy it is to pick up a new character because you have the ability to watch what somebody else does with it. Huge impact, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not even a question. Having been someone who lived in a period where I was telling this story on commentary all weekend long, but when I played Vampire Savior with my friends, I thought I was all hot shit because we had no access to Japanese players.
Right.
we didn't see what they were doing, and most people couldn't beat me until we started finding out that we were all scrubs, like at Vampire Savior. We weren't good at it at all because we just literally had no access to what they were doing. Also told the story in conjunction with this, that in the UCLA Evo 5v5 for Third Strike, Mike Watson was playing Yun with Sorai Rengeki.
Right.
We didn't even know about Ganaging combos, and then Mester started Ganaging all of us, and we were like, what? And like a lot of people didn't know when Tokido was doing that Urian thing to Justin that it was literally an unblockable. Like, we just thought Justin was getting mixed, but it was like literally an unblockable. And a lot of us didn't know that. That's just how it was back then. It's night and day how fighting games are. And in fact, so much to the point that fighting games are even created differently. Street Fighter V could not exist back in the day because the game almost kind of needs training mode, kind of needs having access to frame data and stuff like that, Well, it doesn't need it, but it certainly makes it a lot faster to learn with that information. And back in the day, we had none of that access. I started writing FAQs because nobody had any of this information. I was one of the only people willing to sit down and write a 200-page CVS2 FAQ. That's just how it worked.
And then David pretended to read it for 5 months.
I never read the CVS2 one.
He doesn't read.
Yeah. I was just making fun of you for not actually reading.
I read every book I've ever owned. That's really right. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it was rare. It was rare to get stuff like that. Actually, just this past weekend at Combo Breaker, somebody came up to me and thanked me for writing the Q fact that I wrote in the year 2003 or 2004. Yeah, that was amazing. So shout out to whoever that was. Much obliged. But yeah, honestly, totally different situation. And it was very common to, not that I traveled very often, but when I did, to go to a scene that just like had different ideas and that was doing things that like my scene didn't even know about, and that I would do things that like their scene didn't know about. And so we would like have this weird, trading of ideas.
I think it's kind of great that my age range, I can't even say my generation, but my age range is probably like the last group of people that you'll ever be able to like go, yeah, when I played this game when I was a kid, I was the best. And like not actually know because there wasn't any online ranking system or anything like that. So like I still have people around my age will learn that I'm like a fighting game person. And they'll go, man, I'll beat you at whatever. And then we play them and I absolutely smoke them.
Honestly,
and then they learn, oh, man, maybe I wasn't good at this thing way back then.
I think it's still that way because, as much as we're involved in it, the FGC is still really niche, right? We've got millions of MK players.
Well, yeah, sure. But I can go, if somebody wants to do that in 10 years for Street Fighter V, they can go like, yeah, I was real good at Street Fighter V. You can say, oh, yeah? What rank were you, bud?
Oh, right.
You can't do that for the games I'm talking about. People are
true.
like, I was nice in Street Fighter 2. There's no rank for Street Fighter 2. They can say how nice they were, but realistically, they were just doing jump kick sweep against their brother over and over again.
Dude, at my work, someone was like, I was the best at Street Fighter 2. All you had to do was walk up to someone and do hard kick next to them, that double axe kick, and then sweep afterwards, and you can't block it. I was like, what are you talking about? What?
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. Like that type of level, like that doesn't. People thought they were good at that level, and you can't lie about it anymore. There's no way you can lie about it 10 years from now because people will be like, what rank were you? And if you don't know, then you sucked. And if your rank was low, then you sucked. And I guess you could lie about your rank. I mean, whatever. But then if you play someone and they dunk you, you lied and you suck. So it's like it's much harder to do.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, but
something that I've talked about a few times is how back in Street Fighter 4, when there was a relatively low-level player, the way that they would move around the stage was by jumping. You know, dashing or jumping, basically. And now in Street Fighter 5, a relatively low-level player will do a lot of walking backwards and forwards. And that is something... Yeah, they just, that's what
they don't know why they're doing it. They just see it. That's what they see.
Yeah, exactly. They see other people doing that. Exactly. Not really knowing why it is that happens, that you're trying to like be just outside and just inside of the opponent's options to like make them overcommit and, whatever. All of the footsie's reasons. But they see that. And so they emulate that. That is now super, super common.
Yes.
And that's just like a clear reason, or a clear result, I should say, of more info being spread around.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Which is great.
Yeah. No,
I mean, it's awesome. To be clear, awesome.
I mean, yeah.
More
Oh,
info
yeah.
about
I mean, the
around is really
proliferation
good.
of information, because like I said, that was one of my main goals. It's why I wrote the FAQs. It's why I wrote all the articles on Shoryuken.com in the early days, and it's why I do commentary today, right?
It's why we were asked to commentate, like in the
yes,
first place. Like,
absolutely,
explicitly, like,
Man,
hey, you guys
not
know
me.
the game. Can you do this?
I was definitely put on commentary because people thought I was funny. That was the only reason. Tobo's funny. Make him get on the mic. That's how it started.
I mean,
But
for me,
although that didn't start that much later than we did, it's only a couple years after we started. Even in that period of time, things had changed. Like when we were asked to commentate, there wasn't a conception of like this is an entertainment.
yeah,
Like, it really wasn't. Like Rockefeller was hilarious, but that's not what we thought that we were at all going to be doing.
right.
We were asked to just like help people know what's going on and to spread info. Everything else kind of came after that.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely put me on commentary because I was funny looking, but I mean, that's probably what it was. So.
I think you could have done better with the punchline there.
I know, I didn't. I just it didn't really kind of work. So I was like,
he's just really cementing. He wasn't there for his personality.
basically, yes. Basically, that's just really what it came down to. So, man. But
they asked me to be there because I was funny. But looks aren't everything. Come on, there's like
right? Yeah. Of course.
All right. Anyway,
I didn't need to put in that much work onto that one. So, all right. So, but yes, absolutely, 100%. It's so much better. Everyone always asks, James, you've been around forever. What was the golden age? And it's now. It's now. Yeah. Oh, John Rockefeller is in Canada, happily married, I think he is. So and just living a good life up there. So.
Well, I haven't talked with him, but he's married at least. I hope it's
okay, fair. Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Here.
Strive.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah, we're gonna punch through this one because we're running low on time here.
Oh man, that emote that Bones just put in the chat was distracting me. I thought it was my arrow, my cursor, and I was wondering why my cursor was acting so weird on my PC.
Well, see, James, if you had your 390 hertz monitor, you'd be able to see the frames on that.
Pretty much
on that animation. Okay.
Oh man.
All right. Well, there's going to be an update to Guilty Gear Strive. It will be arriving on June the 10th, so about a week and a half at this point.
610, baby.
Correct. And while we don't know almost anything about it, I think it'd be fun if we guessed a little bit. We do know a couple things about it. Today, there was a stream, Arc Live stream, and they did show a couple of things. So it seemed to me to be that now if there's a counter hit on 2P, at least Soul can link into stuff after that. So that's cool. Maybe that's a game-wide change. And then also that Gold Lewis can dash cancel out of 5K. As you guys mentioned while we were off stream, that's something that other characters can already do. So this is probably just a character-specific change. Maybe it means everybody in the game can do it. I don't know, but maybe more likely character-specific. So we don't have all the info when it comes to things like this. There's going to be the patch notes that will come out 2 days before, so we'll get an idea of what's going on in, again, almost a week and a half at this point.
Yeah, I mean, again, look, if you're just asking predictions, obviously the number one prediction is just going to be Happy Chaos is getting nerfed, right? I mean, I just don't even think that that's a question.
Yeah, baby.
Most people are, I mean, there's a lot of people who are having trouble playing this game right now because Happy Chaos is a hard character to use. But if you fight a Happy Chaos who knows what they're doing, it's just one of the most miserable experiences ever. Kind of,
it looks hilarious. It looks so fun to be able to do, and it does seem hard.
Okay, RoboCop.
it looks hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
things go right for that character.
I am a Happy Chaos enjoyer. I hope Happy Chaos stays very strong.
Yes,
but yeah, they're gonna get nerfed. They're gonna get nerfed.
I mean,
what's the change that you want?
I think the very easy change is to take away 2 bullets out of the clip. Take 2 bullets out of the clip, make him reload more often. I think that's a very easy change to give the opponent more chances to get in and require Happy Cast to be smarter with the shots and concentration and all that stuff.
The main thing is clearly Arxis underestimated how good people were going to get at timing exact steady shot into reload, into steady shot, into reload, into steady shot. Like, there, even if you take 2 bullets out of the chamber, like, he's still going to be
still good. And if it turns out to be too much, you can give him a bullet back later. But I think the first step is taking away 2 bullets.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I just think that...
I also would change his 2-3S starter. This shit where the scaling, it shouldn't be 0 on block. That move shouldn't be 0 on block. It should be at least negative something, so the other opponent can take the turn if Happy Chaos fucks up. But it should probably be like -4 or 5. You should be able to hit him for doing it. I think.
The thing
is, those would be the 2 changes I would like to see, and then I think you'd probably be all right.
Yeah, they definitely were trying to design him in a way, like even the clone that he can put out was designed to eat his own life, so that even as annoying as he was, he had to throw out clones to reload. And that just isn't the case at all. Like, he doesn't need it to reload, so now the clone just becomes super useful as just being an annoyance tool that you can use every once in a while and surprise people. So really, honestly, like, I wouldn't even mind if his reload animation took a little bit longer, but he was just put into a state in which he can block but can't do anything else, you know, or something like that. The reloading needs to be a little bit more dangerous than it is right now, because right now, like I said, steady aim shot reload, steady aim shot reload. I mean, there's that one clip of his match against Raza where he literally where Umisho just shot him like 10 times in a row to chip him to death, you know. Also, steady aim maybe shouldn't do guard break, maybe shouldn't do that much chip damage on it, or if they do a system-wide change so that faultless defense, and this is another change that I really think needs to get into the game, if faultless defense becomes stronger so that it doesn't lose chunks as you're holding it and blocking stuff, I think it would be a lot easier to fight him. But that is another thing. Most people that I've talked to, most of the pro Guilty Gear players I've talked to have said lower the damage so that it's not just 2 guesses and I'm dead, or even 1 guess and I'm dead. And 2, do something to improve defense, like make faultless defense better. Like, those are the main things that I hear from people. And I hope that they do both of those. I hope they lower the damage, and I really do hope, or probably the easy
I hope they raise the damage. Get good. Don't get touched.
Hey, as a hyper fighting player, I get it, dude. As a hyper fighting player, I get it.
If they change that, it won't be by much. I think that's the intention.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to change the damage very much. Yeah. If they do anything, they'll make it slightly more difficult to get the same damage you get now. But I don't think the overall damage changes much.
Yeah. Any other specific changes you're gunning for?
Honestly, I like Nago how he is. All you have to do is lower his guts. Lower his guts and his starting defense modifier. Technically, he has the most life in the game, more than Potemkin, and he deletes people, and everybody has such a hard time deleting him. I am totally cool leaving Nago exactly as he is, as broken as he is, if you just murder his guts and his default defense modifier. And I think that would actually make him a really strong character, a good character without being as broken, because he just doesn't die. This is the problem.
Murder his guts. What a phrase. Just murder his guts. All right. Yeah. Anything else?
Potemkin needs to be a little bit safer. I wouldn't mind having a safe, hammer fall back. Mega Fist.
Potemkin is fine.
Actually, he's one of the weakest characters right now.
Potemkin is fine. Grapplers should not be good in fighting games.
I agree, but
That's why he is fine.
I actually think he's a little too weak right now, to be honest with you.
No way. He could win a major.
Shine Potemkin.
Well, maybe not with Kieran Happy Chaos.
Happy Chaos he can fight. But Shine Potemkin used to finish like top 3 every week in Series E, and towards the end he would go like 1 and 2. Like it's gotten so it's the standard grappler syndrome. Potemkin has a really hard time winning again.
Elven Shadow would win plus R every week, and then Strive came out, and guess what? He doesn't win every week. So you know what? Sometimes the character you've always played just ain't for you anymore. And that's just and Shine played a bunch of different characters at Combo Breaker.
He switched to Giovanna. Yeah, that's the problem.
I think he played like 3 different characters on stream.
Yeah, because Potemkin is actually really weak right now. So
good. Well, he's not the best, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could be a little. I mean, he's still better than he was in Exert, thank God. But still, you know.
Yeah, he's not the worst. He's not the worst.
Well, what about this? So, DNF Duel has there's a little trailer that came out that shows some of this like game options that you can do.
Yeah,
game modes.
Well, they've been like piecemealing, like just throwing out little 2-minute videos of features in the game. And go ahead, David.
Well, I was just gonna say that it looks like it just has regular old ranked. That is to say, like that every fighting game has. That's not an Arxis lobby. Like every fighting game has.
Even Arxis games, David. Even Arxis games has normal fucking matchmaking.
Some of them do.
Exert had it. Yeah. Grand Blue Versus has it. And now DNF has it. When Daisuke? When is it coming to Guilty Gear? When? Why is it not in Guilty Gear? Holy shit. Thank God for DNF. Thank God for DNF. Who needs you, Daisuke? Bring us more DNF, baby. We got ranked matchmaking. Let's go.
So there still is the lobby. If you're somebody who likes the lobby system, that was in the betas for DNF Duel.
Exactly. You can have both. You can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
It can be there. That's why I'm so mad about Strive not having it.
Right.
Because you can have both.
Is that Strive did not give you the text option. And again, like I said, I'm still a proponent of what they were trying to do. They failed miserably in Strive, 100%. They did not do it well. I still like what they are trying to do, and I still think people need to keep looking at that option because, like Yuki even said, right, ranked sucks. Like, obviously, for players like you and David, you're kind of in the FGC. You're built for this. But there's a reason why people aren't playing our fighting game and a reason why Strive had 1,000 entrants at Combo Breaker, right?
Well, yeah, but when Yuki was saying she was in casual mode, that's also matchmaking. That's also automatic matchmaking. That's all I want. You can have the lobby stuff. You can have the whole lobby system. You can do whatever you want with lobbies. You can have little arcade machines with your little avatar and your cute little hats and all that. You can have all that stuff. I want it all. But also just give me normal, traditional, automatic matchmaking against everybody in the player pool. And don't make me go to a room with 30 people and 29 of them are going to fucking dodge me because I played May.
Right. And that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too. Fundamentally, ranked should have no ability for you to pick your opponent because that defeats the purpose of ranked. And so that is, like I said, Strive, I like what they're doing. Very poorly implemented. I 100%
Strive had
agree
1,000
with that.
people
I just added
Combo Breaker. Despite the lobby system, not because of it.
Despite it, not because of it. Just add it, Daisuke. Put it in Guilty Gear, man.
Yep.
Everyone will flock to it. We'll all be playing it. That's what he knows. Big Daisuke knows his silly little lobbies are going to be empty soon as they add real matchmaking.
And not only that, too, but Strive also completely miscalculated the strength of players because floor 10 can be anywhere from just being impossible to this person really kind of doesn't know what they're doing. Like
Celestial's like that too, except for they just happen to win 5 matches to get to Celestial.
Right. Yeah.
I've played like I can't believe how bad you are type players on Celestial to Hotashi. So they did a
really bad job with the judging. It's basically
just use standard elo, man.
Master rank in if it's the same thing if Master rank in Street Fighter started at like 2,000 PP all the way up until like 20,000 PP. You know what I mean?
Precisely. Yeah. It's like throwing platinums at Masters.
All saying that they several people are saying that they stopped playing Strive because of the lobby.
Yeah.
We all know many people who stopped playing Strive because of the lobby.
Dude, no one
it's
could
just-
I
figure
stopped
this
playing
out,
Strive
dude.
because of the lobby.
Here's the guy. Here's one of the guys. Yeah.
I really love that
Dude.
game. I have so much fun playing that game, and I refuse to play it because I don't want to get dodged. I don't want to sit in the lobby for 45 minutes while people dodge me. I
neither.
don't want to do it.
Sounds bad.
Dude, same thing as like freaking KOF. I'd be playing that if my matchmaking worked, dude. Like everyone's always like, there's always one thing getting in the way of stuff. And you know, it's so funny because as much as people like to shit on Street Fighter 5, outside of, you know, my online matches have been in general like 90% pretty good. And like I've enjoyed the Street Fighter 5 online experience is definitely a little bit easier, I think, than almost every other game.
Well, I guess that's it for that. That was the DNF dual subject as well, so I guess we can probably just blow through.
DNF, baby! DNF
yeah,
coming
looking
out
forward to
28 days. Let's go!
Okay, yeah, the
Looking forward to
offline
it.
and online modes showcase for sure, yeah. You jumped ahead, David. Let's go to the mailbag.
I mean, look, David's just conglomerating, he's consolidating.
He's making sure
You
we're
know,
on time.
he's
that's all.
tired. I see those eyes.
Oh, I
did
am
we-
tired. We're all tired.
Did we
I
vote
am too.
on
I hit my second win. That's why I have energy all of a sudden.
well,
Because I am so tired. What,
All right,
what,
I'll be
what,
the
what, James?
tiebreaker. I'll be the tiebreaker on the two questions here. Let's
Okay,
see.
cool. Do it. We're doing question 2 at least, and then what's the other one we're doing?
Right. Oh, Jesus.
Picking them
Christ.
on the fly.
Holy crap. That number one is
Holy
a brutal
buckets.
question.
Holy barf.
Holy
All right,
buckets.
let's do number 2 first. Let's start with number 2.
Number poo.
We are picking from the list of questions that we got. Thanks to everybody who submitted questions for both this and the 5-5.
So, Soul Siphon via Twitter asks, do you have any recommendations for a first timer at a major fighting game tournament?
So this was asked last week, and it's a holdover. So it probably was about Combo Breaker, but
Right, of
you know,
course.
we didn't do
Sorry.
the show last week, so our bad.
Sorry.
Yeah,
But
I mean-
nevertheless, hey, there's other stuff coming up. So what are your recommendations?
I mean, I say this every time. So go there and enjoy the atmosphere. Like, that's the main thing. Enjoy being immersed in fighting games. Make sure you sit down in a chair and watch some of those top 8s with the crowd so that you can feel the energy, the hype and stuff. Don't sweat your result. And if you can, try to get in casuals. But honestly, enjoy the atmosphere. I think it was Mena RD had a wonderful tweet, right? I mean, one, what is he looking at Event Hub's comments for anyway? But like, you know, someone complimented him and it got downvoted so that it like disappeared. And Mena RD was like, it's so different. Like when you're in person, you just it's a different experience. Everyone's
online.
Yeah, everyone's nice. You don't get any of this garbage. And online is like, you know, it's just such a different beast. And it's so true. Most people who go to fighting game events can't even feel like they recognize the FGC because it's such a different atmosphere there. And so that's what I mean. Go there, enjoy it, immerse yourself in it, meet people, and, you know, you'll be able to run into Brian F. or, you know, Smug just walking around if they're at the event and stuff like that. You know, obviously respect their time and their privacy and stuff, but like you have these kind of opportunities. Enjoy the environment. Don't sweat your results in the tournaments, and make sure you watch some of those top 8s live in person because it'll be nothing like you've ever experienced.
Yeah, I think that's a good list of things to do for sure. If you're there to play, there's multiple reasons to go, right? If you're there to play, then definitely try out the casuals, and those can be intimidating if you're not used to it. If you ever played in the arcade era, it's very similar to how it used to be, where you just kind of sidle on up. But if that's not something that you experienced, all it is you walk up and you say, hey, can I get next? Or hey, can I get winner? And that's how we all know how it works. Like that, at that point, like almost never is anybody a jerk about saying no. Like it's just extremely, extremely rare. And so, yeah, then you get some games and maybe you get dunked or maybe not. But like also, we're all so used to either of those potential things happening that like it's just no sweat off anybody. Like if whoever sits down and asks to play like is the best player in the world or is the worst player in the world or whatever, we're all used to those outcomes. So like your however you are is not going to be like something that nobody expects. It's not going to be something that can be cause for embarrassment from somebody else. Just hang out. And if you're somebody who's there not to play, but to just hang out, then yeah, watch a lot of stuff. I do recommend, if it's something like Combo Breaker or CEO or whatever that will have multiple big screens up, sit somewhere where you can watch multiple things, because it is really, really cool to experience the cool moments of a game that you're not as familiar with in a crowd, because it's so much easier to know what are the interesting moments for games that you don't know. If you're just watching online, not that easy sometimes. Maybe the commentators make it sound interesting, but we don't always do a great job of that.
Speak for yourself, bud.
When it comes to in-person stuff, the crowd is going to make it very clear, very clear when something interesting happens. And that can be part of like what makes you then interested in the game. Oh, this was a cool moment, it turns out. I'd never seen that kind of thing in this game. Like that is a really, really big part, I think, of a multi-game FGC major, is like making sure that you try to pay attention to multiple games there, even if they're ones you don't know very well.
Lord SayJam just came in the chat and said pretty much the same thing here. Sit far back in the middle or stand in a place where you can see both. Yep.
Absolutely right.
Dude, when I was sitting watching KOF semis, I was talking to Violent Kane and a couple of other guys, and they're like, everybody can't stop staring at Skullgirls, which was on the big stage right next to it, because it's just so bright and colorful. You know what I mean? Like, everyone was like, I can't stop staring at this game. It's really pretty.
Definitely. I think, do you have to bring your own stick to play casual games, or are there sticks there? Usually you have to bring your own stick, but people will usually let you. People will usually let you borrow. That's not always the case, though. Like, it's definitely don't expect that necessarily.
BYOC. Anyways, I think my best advice for tournaments, if you're new, and I mean this in a way, not just for majors, but for all tournaments, is to get out of your shell, do things you wouldn't necessarily normally do. Because maybe somebody drops out of commentary that night who normally does it, and they say, hey, why don't you get on the mic? And then 12 years later, you find yourself on Ultra Gen TV. So do dope shit when you have the opportunity. And if you want to do dope shit, make the opportunity happen. Because that's the only way it's going to happen, especially now. Things are real hard to break into now compared to 13 years ago. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to break out of your shell and do stuff maybe you wouldn't normally do, or take opportunities to do things that you've always wanted to do. I think that's good advice. That's, if you're getting into the FGC at any level, locals, monthlies, or a major, I think that's what you should do. Run a bracket, meet people, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. That's just kind of life advice, but it really does matter in the FGC if you want to actually be someone in the
I know.
FGC.
I was about to say, I felt like I was having a private conversation with Tubo, and he was giving me dating advice, dude.
It's just life advice.
Just get out there. Really put yourself out there, James. Do it.
Depending on what your goals are, that is kind of what you have to do. So,
but in the FGC context,
just do stuff.
I know that that's easier said than done, certainly, but one of the things to understand about the fighting game community is that everybody there is just as much of like a nerd as you are. You know what I mean? Like,
we're a bunch of fucking dorks.
It is not like much of real life, which is like, you never know, like if somebody feels very differently than you do about stuff, or maybe you don't have any interest, or there's nothing to talk about. But that is just not the case at a fighting game event. If you're there, like, other people also want to talk about fighting games. Other people also want to play fighting games with you. Like, that's why they're there. So one of the main, like, oh no, I'm not sure how this is gonna go, things that you might be hung up on, you don't need to be as hung up on, because you can be very sure that people will want to talk about games, play games with you, etc.
One of the things I just want to tell the story of, because you were talking about the casuals, David. Did you see what they did at the Vampire Savior Station after the tournament was over? They were on the stage, they were playing best of one, and everybody was lining the back of the stage with their joysticks like tokens to know who was going up next.
That's very cool.
That was so genius, dude.
That is cool.
It was really, really cool. Oh, man.
Tuhalu, I literally walked up to Rob and called him a nerd several fucking times.
He's such a nice guy, He really is.
Rob would be like, yeah, you're right. You got me.
Dude, I ran into Rob.
And then he just trip on you.
I I walked up to Rob and I met his dad, and his dad's like, "Oh, it's the legend James Chen," and I was like, "What?"
His dad was there. His dad was in the salty suite with us Sunday night. I didn't get to talk about this, man, but
Dad called me a legend, and I was like, "What?" He was like, "I've been watching you even before this boy was playing," and I was like, "What?" Like that whole thing was so
his
crazy.
Pops was there to see his son stun on everyone. Yeah, it was cool.
Then I told
he was in the
Rob,
salty suite kicking it with us.
dude, it was so funny because like I was talking to Rob, and I was like, "So yeah," I was like hugging him. I'm like, "Good shit, go do stuff, and in a couple of hours, you will be my mortal enemy." he was like, "All right, I'll have some words for you too," and I was like, "All right," but I think he forgot about me because I'm useless, so that's fine. How do you travel with a stick? Very carefully. Honestly,
you just pack it.
Some people put it in their luggage. Some people carry it around. Some people drill holes in the side and put handles or a lot of sticks have shoulder strap like handles on them.
Yeah, some people will have it in the backpack for their carry-on. People will go with the snack boxes or the hip boxes, which can fit in luggage. Some people will install detachable joysticks so that the joystick can be flat. Some people will create their own joysticks. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways.
Anyways, I didn't get to talk about this before we go. Like my Sunday night was like very poetic with Combo Breaker, because I came into the fighting game scene with Street Fighter, right? And then Sunday night was nothing but Street Fighter players in St. Cola's suite. So there was like all these people that I know from like 2009.
Oh dang, yeah.
So it was really, really cool just to chill with Street Fighter players, weirdly enough. Cool. And play some Street Fighter 4. I got to play 4. Oh, I'm so good at 4! I'm so good at that game. I'm the best. The best there is.
I heard a story about someone blocking your Blanca Ball cross-up mix-up the first time you tried it.
But that person lost. That person lost, though.
Not that game.
The set.
Anyways, next question. Let's get to the next question over here. All right, because we're gonna have a commentator cup of just David and Tubo for Street Fighter 4 coming up soon. So he
doesn't want the
heat. So we can settle this out. Subatar says, if prize money is ignored, what is the highest stakes match you have ever watched, commentated, or played in? I mean, the funny thing about that question, I just want to say right away, is one of the most high stakes matches I've ever seen involved money. But the money just didn't mean anything, to be honest with you. And I'm not even sure any of the players were making the money. All the money was between everyone betting on it, which was, of course, Duck versus Sanford, which was like the first ultimate big high stakes money match. I mean, it was a money match that the Evo staff heard about, and they're like, why don't we just like actually play it on the stage and like make it part of Evo? Like, it was literally a last second, like it was a that weekend call. And we were like, why don't we just do that? Let's do it. And we did it. And like that money match, like changed the face of like money matches and those kind of exhibitions, in my opinion. And it was such a big deal and really kind of solidified the transition of East Coast of New York becoming Kings of Marvel, and it was like the stakes were really high. In the end, of course, everybody hugged and it was all great and everything like that. But still to this day, one of the most memorable, like actual like exhibition stakes kind of thing. And like I said, I'm not even sure if the players themselves were playing for much of the money.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the matches I've seen or taken part in that were high stakes have all been because the money were high stakes. So it's really hard to ignore the money part of it. Because most people don't like. I've seen some like pink slip matches where like they'll give up a color, they play with that character, or they'll put their arcade stick up. If they lose, the other person takes your stick. Like I've seen stuff like that.
I haven't seen that. Dang.
Yeah. You get your controller taken. You don't get to play anymore. That's mine now. I've seen stuff like that. I mean, that like back in 2011, that was pretty high stakes. Yeah, because those arcade sticks were $150. So
still high stakes, but very rare. That didn't happen very often.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not often, but it happened. But yeah, I think all the ones I remember are like the stuff that other people remember that are big money. Because even if it doesn't start with money, it ends with money. It always ends with money.
float
We're
toss.
fucking degenerate gamblers. It's just how it is.
Some colors for characters get associated with players, and sometimes two players are both associated to that color. So they will have a color match where they both play not that color, and whoever wins, the loser can never pick that color again.
Yep.
That is what a color match is. Yeah.
Yeah, very high stakes for sure. I would say it must be Capcom Cup or the various NRS like finals. They've all had different names, whatever. Where there is whatever $100,000 in like who wins or loses the grand finals of that. Like literally gets $100,000 more than the other person. Hard to beat that. That is.
Life.
Just so much money. Yeah, life-changing money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
hard to beat that. I'd say for me, I never played anything like that. I'd say for me, the thing that stands out to me is in early SF4 days when I was winning tournaments in SoCal, and just some matches I had against players who I knew as like longtime top players who I looked up to and kind of didn't really consider myself as like beyond their level, who I beat in tournament matches, and including to win tournaments in a couple cases. And those felt like the highest stakes matches that I ever played in. And there wasn't like money on the line. I guess in the grand finals there was, but it was like $50 or what? Maybe not even that. It wasn't about that. It was just feeling like I could compete, and especially against people who I had known for years as being top level players. So that's my take, but yeah, it's got to be Capcom Cup and the various NRS finals for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We did it. And guess what? If you type in !beyond in the chat or !DreamHack in the chat, then you can do it too. Download the DreamHack app.
the Dream app.
I don't know why they didn't call it that.
It's actually genius. Yeah.
Download the DreamHack app to get DreamHack Beyond achievements and earn rewards.
And again, once again, to remind everybody, DreamHack Dallas is this weekend. You can still register at smash.gg/DHDAL22, obviously for DreamHack Dallas 22. And you can see over $20,000 in prizes for Guilty Gear Strive, Smash Ultimate, King of Fighters 15, and Super Smash Bros. Melee. That's going to be DreamHack Dallas this weekend, part of the DreamHack Beyond series that is being put on by Tong, as Tubo corrected me earlier.
Damn straight.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Bailey's involved as well. Also, you can go there and check out James's favorite place, which is Dealey Plaza. Let me tell you how many times James has told me about how much he loves what happened in Dealey Plaza back in 1963.
Absolutely.
It's
so close to my heart, and like
you agree with it. You're into it.
I'm not gonna say yes or no.
You've told me many times.
I'm not going to influence the opinion of people on the stream chat. I need them to develop their own opinion. So they need to go to the big Dealio Plaza in Dallas next to DreamHack Dallas to check it out for themselves and form an opinion on themselves, because being there in person really changes how you feel about what happened there in 1569.
Back in 1963. Yeah, for example, James has often thought and put himself into that book depository, thinking, the things that guy did in there, those were pretty good. It was all right hanging out up there in the book depository in Dallas in 1963. This is not helping you, I guess.
I think I know what you're talking about, maybe.
As the motorcade approached.
As the parade? Okay, yeah, okay. Got it. Okay. Got it.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, everybody. All right, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. We're out of here. Have a good weekend. Have a
Check
good
out the
week.
Dealey Plaza if you do go to DreamHack Dallas, and please definitely consider it if you can make it. Obviously, it's very last second, but if you can't make it, keep an eye out for the streams so you can watch all the cool events that take place there. Take care, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.